MJF outlasts Hangman Adam Page in Texas Deathmatch to retain his AEW World Championship. Thekla defeats Kris Statlander to defend her AEW Women's World Championship. Ronda Rousey debuts. Will Ospreay returns. I'm sure James has Oscar takes, and we find out if the Rev can last through St. Patrick's Day weekend.
Breathe.
One.
Breathe.
Yeah, it's late. Let's go.
Uh-oh.
Yes, boy!
French toast is the exchange student that you have like a 3-week affair with.
Hey, we can see that you don't have pants on.
Somebody hit somebody with a pie. Do something.
Giovanni yelling we're out of time as we go off the air.
Giovanni yelling a lot of things tonight.
And welcome to the Mark It Down podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Mark It Down podcast. My name is Nick Cummings, joined tonight or this morning, I guess, by James Asante, back here to review AEW Revolution 2026 live from Los Angeles, California. It's late, James.
No, it's early, Nick.
You know what? You're not wrong. We start, ladies and gentlemen, with the main event of the evening, which saw MJF defend his AEW Men's World Championship against Hangman Adam Page in a Texas death match. This was really, really cool. I just want to say that from the jump. It started really cool when Hangman came out to a trumpet solo. And quite frankly, he should do that for every Texas death match ever.
He should never have another Texas death match. He should never be in another Texas death match. Brian said it during commentary. Let's take a break. Moratorium on Texas death matches for a while.
Yeah, honestly, we've had quite a few of them now recently, especially with Hangman. And I get like it's a specialty match, but maybe let it breathe for a minute there, Tony. We're
averaging like 1 to 2 a year.
Yeah, fair. And they're worth it, obviously.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But for Hangman's sake, maybe no more for a while.
For both his mental and physical health. On the flip side, yeah, definitely. On the flip side of things, MJF had a hilarious vignette where he was a cowboy on a horse, and then he, went through a western town to piss on Hangman's grave.
He did spoil the ending. The video says the day after Revolution.
Fair enough. He then came out in a Burberry poncho and cowboy hat with trunks that were a very nice tribute to Terry Funk, which I thought was awesome.
I didn't understand it, and then they said it, and then I couldn't not see it. I was like, yeah, go ahead.
I didn't get it until I saw the picture on Blue Sky, and I was like, oh, there you go.
Commentary pointed it out, and once they said it, it was like it unlocked something in me. I was like, how did I not recognize it sooner? But yeah, great homage.
Very, very cool. So there's a lot of stuff that happened in this.
I don't know how to talk about it because there are so many points where we're going to talk about a big, big spot. And then you'd think that would be the end, but it wasn't even the halfway point.
I have to say, though, one of the big things I came out of this is MJF is low-key one of the best comedic wrestlers of all time.
The man is so unserious, it's disgusting. First comment so far, Ryan Ree, Hangman Page, cry me a river. He definitely cried you a river of blood tonight. I don't know if that's what you were looking for, but you got it in some liquid, Ryan.
Also harsh.
Apparently, I was arguing with some people on Reddit about this. Did you watch a different match than I did? Because apparently there were people booing Hangman during the match. I didn't hear that or see that.
Also, what are you doing arguing with people on Reddit?
Every once in a while, I need to remind myself how much I hate myself. So I go on Reddit and I argue with people.
Speaking of mental health, that's just bad for it. Don't be petting on the internet. Roll 3. But I will say, just MJF, the way he reacts to things is hilarious. Like when he got dragged through that glass early in the match after he broke the window, which was really cool way to introduce it.
It was funny because they talked about it when he did it, that it was like he thought he was being smart. He even says, I'm not doing that indie garbage.
Yep.
And then by doing that, he created a situation that was far worse because it was unavoidable now.
But just the way he reacts is so funny. Like I was laughing through, I think maybe the first 15 minutes of this match because of his reactions. It was a combination of that and just, I think that this is the term, the Schadenfreude of, watching him go through it. Plus Shivani just reveling in the fact that he is getting tortured by Hangman. It's a combination of things.
Shivani, who we need to acknowledge as one of the MVPs of the night with his commentary. God bless you, Toni. Don't change. I know a lot of people are calling for Toni to stop doing commentary or to do it less. Absolutely not.
No.
Toni every week, and you've got gold. But no, I agree. It's something that I sometimes get frustrated with MJF because he's so funny. He's so naturally funny that it makes it hard to hate him. Like when I see him put himself through the stuff that he does and react the way he does, it's no different than one of the cast members of Jackass. Just themselves. And I can't help but be entertained.
Honestly, you say that, and I think you're talking about Darby, but instead, MJF. It's funny because he takes himself so seriously, in character, but you can tell like he does a great job of allowing that character to not take itself so seriously.
He alternates, which is important. There are some people, like, not to throw anybody under the bus, but you look at a guy like Jericho and what he's become. He has very little nuance at this stage. He always leans very heavily in whatever direction he's going. He's either Painmaker Chris Jericho or Le Champion, a little bit of the bubbly Chris Jericho.
Don't make me get my bottle.
But there's no in between anymore. As opposed to MJF, he's very good at walking that line.
So, I agree. Like, and that's why he is, I think, one of the best going right now. Is just he's so good at that. What up? It. Good to see you, brother.
We hope you stay dry. We hope you stay safe. It. But thank you for being with us this morning.
Yeah, man, appreciate it. Also want to check back in with Ryan here. I hate Hangman. He's a piece of crap. And he thought he would beat MJF when he announced Texas Deathmatch. He thought wrong. MJF, I'm better than you, and you know it. I appreciate MJF's burner being in our comments.
We accept fans of everybody here. If you're an MJF guy, good for you. We actually just got to see him live a couple weeks ago at House of Glory. He's just as great in person as he is on TV.
Yeah, no, honestly, like I love Hangman, but I love MJF too, and that's why I'm giving him so much credit here.
Yeah.
I also, to add to the hilarity of what he did, he shortly after swept the glass out of the ring. Also, very surprised we did not get a cleaner reference when they brought the broom out.
I thought it, but my brain will always direct me back to Kenny Omega. So I'm not really like an unbiased person in this one. But yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. Some other high spots as we get towards the end of this match here. MJF stuck a syringe through Hangman's cheek.
And then squirted it.
Yep. Phrasing? I do like, though, that he yelled at commentary before he did it. You love this when Hangman did it.
Let me tell you, Max, we did it. I hated it then, too.
I've been stabbed with a hypodermic needle. I did not like this at all.
Needles is on the list of most feared things for James.
Yeah, no, same here. We are a non-needle podcast.
Yeah.
I also thought they made great use of that barbed wire chair there throughout the early portions of the match. They used it quite a bit.
Better than the barbed wire board. It had its spot. It did. But just make the table barbed wire.
I guess.
It would have, the table didn't break. It collapsed. And the board didn't break. So it's just a gnarly spot. Just make it a table with barbed wire on it.
I think, or I would imagine, that a barbed wire table, is probably harder to store underneath the ring. Maybe slightly. I don't know.
You just put it on top. The way you did it on the board, where it's like, just do it that way. But also, let me say, this was an insane match. We're going to talk more about it. All these things we're talking about, broken glass, barbed wire boards, barbed wire chairs, syringes, all this stuff. And the crowd still had the gall to chant, "We want fire." And Hangman, if he got the lighter, would have done it.
Honestly, it's LA, which I believe is probably the pot smoking capital of the USA, and nobody had a lighter. Come on.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
We had that. We had light tubes, and shout out to the crowd with the CZW chant, and then also Excalibur and Tony Schiavone going back and forth with the Star Wars references.
All right, when he called MJF Obi-Wan, I almost punched. I take back what I said. Schiavone, get off commentary. Can I little anecdote? Not even going to be 30 seconds.
Good. Hang on,
4
wait.
years. We
There you
don't
go.
have an anecdote. It's a tangent. 4 years. I was very much under the belief you could not get cut from those light bulbs.
Yeah, the tubes. Yeah.
Because I don't know if you've ever watched it. 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Weirdly, own it on DVD. Never seen it.
That's insane. Okay. Maria, hi. Please talk
Hey, Maria.
some sense to this man here. There's a scene where the gang are just breaking up light tubes at work, and then one of them hits Paul Rudd in the leg with it. And he's just pissed because it's like, it's new pants. It's ruined now. But like, he was fine. So for years, I was like, I could hit somebody with these light bulbs and no one's going to get hurt. And wrestling taught me a lot there. So for those of you who think there's no educational value in professional wrestling, let me tell you, probably, but this isn't one of those instances.
You've clearly never broken a light bulb.
I don't know if they're built differently. I've never broken in one of those. Like, how many instances as a kid would I have had with those light tubes?
Oh, the tubes, I guess not as much. I used to have to change them a lot in school because I was tall and I could reach the ceiling. But
that feels like they were taking advantage.
Oh, never mind. But
who hasn't seen 40-Year-Old Virgin? Seriously, man. Seriously.
No, I haven't seen it through. I've seen parts of it, but I've never actually sat down.
That's insane.
I know the Coldplay reference. That's all I need. Let's see. Oh, we got some other spots here. The bamboo skewers. That is tough to say. I only bring that up because Brian said, and he just got his hair done.
So you were slightly ahead of me.
Oh, my bad.
When we were texting. No, I had no context for it. And then he was like, Brian, I was like, did I miss that? What happened? And then the skewers, and I was like, Jesus Christ. I was warned and I still wasn't ready.
Maria asks, have you seen Star Wars? Maria, I have Kylo Ren right there.
Kylo Ren?
Yeah, Kylo. That's what I said. Come on. All right, what else do we got here? Towards the end of this match, Hangman made this an impromptu dog collar match, which kind of really changed the entire dynamic of the entire thing. I really like the fact that they brought up his MJF's previous dog collar match.
As they could.
Yep, they couldn't reference CM Punk, but they're like, at a previous Revolution, he's been in this match, da-da-da-da. Especially MJF, too, when he came to and he realized he had the dog collar on.
Not again.
Not again. Yeah.
That was great.
Again, the best comedic wrestling you don't think of. That then later led to the two of them fighting up on the stage, and Hangman used the chain to pull MJF into himself, and he basically belly-to-bellied him off of the stage into a production area that set off a nice little explosion.
It gave I'm going to ask another movie one. We don't go tangents, by the way.
Thank you.
Have you watched the Harry Potter movies?
No, I'm not a Harry Potter guy.
All right. In the last movie, when Harry and Voldemort are like having their duel to the death,
With the pipe bomb?
right before it, Harry grabs Voldemort the same way Hangman did MJF, and he was like, together. It gave such Harry Potter vibes. And I'm not a big Harry Potter guy, but that is exactly what it felt like. So they were going for cinema with this match. This match that Maria is saying is a candidate for match of the year.
Arguably, I mean, it's early. It's only St. Patrick's month, but we'll see.
I mean, we could say it's match of the year so far.
I think you could argue that, definitely. That then led to MJF, or literally being dog walked by Hangman back to the ring.
Such a visual.
Yeah.
Such a visual.
Shout out to the crowd. He's a good boy chant. Hangman then went for the buckshot lariat when they got back to the ring, but MJF low blowed him a la, I think that was World's End. And then MJF grabbed the belt and brained Hangman with it, but Hanger sprung up at 9. He then
of that belt.
Yep.
The sound that hit made. Wow. There was a part of me that wished it was almost the finish of the match, because there would have been something very poetic about Hangman not being able to challenge for the title anymore because of the title itself. Like, this is the last time you'll ever get to touch it.
Yeah, I agree. Although I think the ending that we actually got was just as poetic, which we
absolutely. But yeah, I would have been just as happy there.
Yes. So after Hangman got up at 9, he then returned the favor and dick kicked MJF and hit him with the belt before again setting up for the buckshot. However, he kind of took a little while playing to the crowd as he was waiting for MJF to get up. And as MJF was getting up, he put on the Dynamite Diamond Ring. He then went over, popped him in the head with it, and then used a dog collar to hang Hangman over the ropes off the side of the ring. Yep. Eventually, Page passed out, and he couldn't answer the bell, the referee's 10 count, and MJF was able to retain his title. And as MJF passed out, as Hangman passed out, sorry about that. I'm so used to Max doing these things. As Hangman passed out, he fell face first into the camera and left a huge blood stain on it, which made for a great visual. Yeah.
There was a bloody stain on the lens for the rest, for the 5 minutes that were left of the show. And it was perfect. It was so, again, I keep using this word. It was so cinematic, and it created such a powerful visual. As the last thing we see is MJF standing on Hangman's carcass, which is loaded onto a stretcher.
Yep.
And just, you don't even see Hangman because there's so much blood on the screen. You see MJF standing, but you don't see Hanger. And I think that was like, wow. That cameraman absolutely deserves a pay raise. Although, realistically, I've seen a lot of people say this. MJF should be thanking him because it might have been that thunk to the head, to the camera, that knocked out Hangman.
I think Hanger was out anyway, but either way, honestly, like you said, it was a phenomenal visual.
Yeah.
I don't think you could have scripted that better. And I'm not even sure it was intentional or not.
I don't think it was, because the timing had to have been so perfect. I think once they saw it was there, they decided to just say, fuck it. Because they could have brought any other camera. Yeah. They could have switched out cameramen. They could have switched out cameras. They didn't. And I think they realized how good it was, what had happened.
Yeah. We were joking around, like, terrible thumbnail for us as we say hello to Fernando. What's up,
What up, Fernando?
But on the screen, like, that's something that is going to be used for a very long time. And that is also something that you're going to see forever. Like, it is going to be a fairly, I think, iconic visual thing from AEW when they, can use the bloody part of that angle. That being said, though, James, we do have, as Fernando called us, the best Revolution ever.
We're both doing it. You do it.
Yep.
You take it. There you go.
It's up there, man. Revolution is one of those ones, because it's one of the big four, right?
Yeah.
For AEW, where I guess big five now, technically, because you have All In.
Yeah, Revolution, All Out,
Double or
Full
Nothing.
Gear, Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
Everything else is important, but you're it's equivalent to WWE SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, WrestleMania.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was absolute bangers throughout the night, and I'm very happy about that. But James, obviously, I think the big thing coming out of this is Hangman Adam Page can now no longer challenge for the AEW Men's World Championship
Ever.
as long as he keeps his word.
As long as he keeps it. I mean, I saw somebody make a good point, and we don't know the answer to it. If it was ever added to a contract, if it's like in any type of writing, I guess we'll find that out. It depends on if they want to go that route or not. But there are we've seen it, we've heard it. There are so many ways that Hangman could get out of this down the road. There are a lot of eyes on this stipulation because infamously what happened with Cody and how it handicapped him in AEW very early on, which most people, if not everyone, agrees was a very, very poor decision.
Yeah. Not to mention, again, that was MJF's doing.
Yes.
Where he cost Cody that opportunity.
So I obviously, in my heart, believe they wouldn't have done this stipulation if they don't think there's a way that they could creatively get around it in the future. Whether that's Hangman decides to turn heel and say, I don't give a shit. I'm going to do it anyway because why do I care what I said? Or a champion challenges him. Someone who feels like he can't say he's the true champion until he's faced everybody, and that includes Hanger. Or maybe my favorite one, he somehow gets his heart to stop, and then he gets resuscitated, and then he's technically, as long as he's alive, he couldn't do it. He's alive again, now he can do it. Not sure if this is a spoiler for it. Have you watched Game of Thrones?
Yeah, more or less.
Okay, like he's gonna Jon Snow it.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see. Either way, there are ways around it. I'm still not crazy about the stipulation. I like, from lots of standpoints, if I'm Tony Khan, why would I okay one of my best talents not being able to challenge for the title ever again? From a creative standpoint, you're definitely cutting him off. And I do find it funny that the two times this has been in play, we've seen the guy lose. But the one instance where it was temporary, the guys won, but they were still gone for the majority of the year anyway. All in with Swerve and Ospreay against the Bucks.
Yeah.
And then they were gone anyway due to injury or some other nonsense. So a little silly, but it is what it is.
Yeah. I'm okay with this just because I weirdly trust Tony with Hangman's story. I think he has done a phenomenal job with him since day one. And part of that was probably the Bucks and Kenny, I think, in the beginning as well. But as Hangman has grown past the elite and become, as we all call him, the main character of AEW, he always has a great story. So whatever they do in the future to most likely get him another title shot, I will be okay with that. Not to mention, this also probably allows him, frees him up to go after other titles. He could go for the international, he could go for the continental, and so on.
I do love too that and sorry guys, I'm not gonna jump to the match, but I'll spoil the ending of another match. The trios match has JetSpeed and now Místico as the new trios champions, meaning Hanger doesn't even have that to fall back on with his old team.
Yep.
So I do like that. He does very much feel like a man on an island right now. And look, creatively, it's going to lead to some interesting concepts. It's scary. It's not fun if you're a Hangman fan because you're going to be in a drought knowing that he can't go for the world title for a while. But I have to have faith. The same way you do, I have to as well. I think the main thing here is there are questions that always inevitably come up with stuff like this. Does this mean Hangman's leaving? Is he going to, as I think it was, who said, can mean only one thing, Page is all WWE. Questions like that are always going to come up because of it. Like, is this their way of sort of getting the door ready for him to walk out of it? I don't think so.
Same.
There are, like, for me, the main issue is, let's say they decide to commit to it. He's 34. Like, he's going to be around for a lot of years. And just the thought of that is just not appealing. So, all in all, great matchup. I couldn't tell you my favorite spot of the match. There was just so many good spots.
All of it.
No, not all of it. There's one spot that was awful. It was the needle. Never again.
No, it was great. We're just squeamish.
Yeah. Didn't like it. But overall, truly a fantastic match. And I've been saying this for weeks, and I will still say it. It never made sense for Hangman to do this. It never made sense for Hangman to put his career on the line to get this match type, because he already had the title match locked in. This was hubris. This was him wanting to do it in his matchup. And what ultimately cost him again was hubris. He attached himself to MJF with the dog collar, and then at the end, he was soaking in the adoration of the crowd, and that cost him. So all of this, all of Hangman's downfall is his own doing. You can't say, well, MJF cheated. This was a no DQ match. He never needed to hide the ring. If he wanted to keep it on his hand the entire goddamn match, he could have.
Yep.
So everything here was because Hangman let it happen. So I think there's a very interesting story there. And as much as you and I think many people weren't crazy about the press conference from Wednesday, that question, the one question that made it into the video package tonight, who are you, Hangman, if you can't go for the AEW World title, is a very intriguing question. So time will tell.
I'm only going to push back on one thing you said, because I agree with you that it was hubris that cost him this championship tonight. But I don't think it was hubris that pushed him into this match site. It was a combination of that and just being emotional, because he was so dead set on getting Texas Death versus Max that he put up his opportunity in the future to go for the AEW World Championship.
But you see it, though, in the press conference, and you see it, though, in his promos where he said, I've made careers in this match. I've won championships in this match. And that is arrogance. That is hubris. And
it's a bit of both. I'm not saying you're wrong. Like, there is hubris. I was just saying more like the initial thing where he was like, let's put up a stipulation and we'll figure out a stipulation and then I'll put up my.
But let me ask, but this is the question, and I don't want to dwell on it too much because we have a long pay-per-view to talk about.
Yeah. We're splitting hairs, but yeah.
He beat MJF twice last year. Twice in normal matchups.
Why do it?
Why did this need to be Texas Death? Other than, I really think it could be cool to be Texas Death. There never needed to be a stipulation. He offered both of them up. Give me Texas Death and I'll put my career on the line. Fucking why?
Yeah, I get, like, he just really wanted to end this, and like that's the storyline reason. But I mean, kind of to Maria's point, baby faces can be stupid sometimes.
Clearly. I talked about it. There was a fun spot we didn't talk about where Hangman stapled a happy birthday card to MJF.
Oh,
MJF
yes.
just yesterday or today turned 30. So MJF is 30. Hangman is 34. Why did you need to say this feud needs to end now? You're both going to be in the company for another decade.
To quote the Joker, I feel like we're destined to do this forever. Like,
apparently not. Contractually, apparently not.
Yeah. It is weird, though, because thinking back on it now, we've seen so many times MJF get worked up and offer something he shouldn't, or agree to something he shouldn't. Yeah, keep your blood pressure down, buddy.
I'm hot right now. It was a long night.
It's late. We're overtired. But I think in this instance, we saw Hangman do the same thing right after he said, we're the same person, or were so similar. He did the same thing MJF always does, where he got overworked and he got emotional and he made a rash decision and offered up something he shouldn't have, and it has now cost him.
And you're absolutely right. But fair is fair. I mock MJF when he does it. I'm gonna mock Hangman here. He was dumb.
Yeah,
This was dumb.
Oh, absolutely.
There's one good thing to come from this. It's one less person in front of Kenny. And all I'm saying is Dynasty is in Canada. I know everybody's excited about two certain knuckleheads who are going to go for the tag titles. Give me Kenny MJF at Dynasty.
Oh yeah, they came back. Honestly, that's how stacked the show is. I mean, thank God I have my notes. I forgot. Effing A.
It's a long night.
Oh God.
You know what's crazy? It really, like, the main pay-per-view started at 8 and it ended 12-ish. So that's like a 4-hour-ish pay-per-view. They just jam-packed it.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining.
No, neither am I.
We got to go comments before.
Yeah, a couple of comments here. Maria making the joke. How do we know this wasn't Cody's idea for the stipulation?
Trust me, bro. You'll get over. You'll get over. They'll be so sympathetic, bro. Trust me.
She does have a good point, though. Be patient. And I think that's very smart with AEW. They do long-term storytelling, I think, better than anybody, especially with guys like MJF and Hangman.
I completely agree. But to counter that, this isn't the Smark It Down podcast. This is the Mark It Down podcast. I am a mark. I am allowed to get worked up. My blood pressure, we don't need to talk about it.
Especially when it's 1:45 in the morning. You know what? Asking who would be the Red Witch to bring Hangman back? Doc Sampson.
Stop it. Stop it. It should be... if Kris was here, Kris LeClaire, I'd say it should be the Sisters of Sin and Thekla. Work some dark magic in there. But
evil Hangman.
Yes, very evil.
All right. Maria's saying the main event picture is very stacked and overcrowded, even with Will Ospreay being back. Hangman.
Oh, by the way, that happened too.
Yep. Hangman doesn't need any world championship matches or reigns for a while, and I think that's fair. That's what I was saying earlier. Like, there's an international, there's a continental. He can do other things, and it would still keep him fresh and allow him to, just be out of it for a minute. And I get that.
I agree to an extent. I see. My thing is just to go to another like famous Southerner, Shawn Michaels. In Shawn's second run in WWE, he won the world title once. Yeah. And he did it within the first year of coming back, and then he didn't do it again ever. But you know what was great? He still got to challenge for the belt. He wrestled John for that title. He wrestled Triple H for that title. He wrestled Chris Jericho for that title. He wrestled so many people, and he never won. But because he's Shawn Michaels, you always have to think it's possible. So that's why I'm never crazy about these definitive things. I get it. This adds stakes. I get it. But the idea that, well, whoever the next champion is, Hangman can't challenge him. If it's Swerve, he can't challenge him. If it's Kenny, he can't challenge him. Like, that's a tough pill to swallow for me.
Kenny will use his EVP magic and allow him to do it or something.
I love that he's the last EVP standing, and he was probably always the least EVP of them all.
He was just like, yeah, can I wrestle my friends? That's all he ever wanted to do.
Let me bring in Joshi's and let me wrestle my friends. And let me bring in Nakazawa.
More or less. It's saying he should turn heel and then find a way to challenge again. Maybe Swerve will somehow turn him. Interesting.
Yes. Which I gotta say, I think we were all expecting Swerve here. I
wasn't.
I was thoroughly expecting Swerve. So I'm very happy that I got swerved and didn't get him. But yeah, wow. This was just Hangman losing.
Yeah. Yep. And like you said, because of his own hubris, which I thoroughly enjoyed. But like, I didn't expect Swerve just because, like I said, I thought it was too early to do them again.
Yeah.
But as good as it was, like, we just did that whole thing. Let it breathe. All right, we got a lot more to do. So let's keep it moving. I want to do a brief recap of 0 Hour. I don't know if you watch any of it, James.
I did. My guy was in it.
Yeah, there you go. I do love those glasses. Our close personal friend, Ace Austin. We had a lot of close personal friends on this show tonight.
Not as close as we would like them to be.
Yeah.
But, for our narrative, very close.
We had Boom and Doom get the win over the Infantry. Wayne Brady and the Rizzler took bumps. Big Justice speared Shane Taylor. Chaos. Love that opening. I think most importantly, or maybe not most importantly, but one of the bigger things to come out of the pre-show was Willow Nightingale defending her TBS championship against Lena Kross. She ended up winning with a backslide, but throughout the course of the match, she injured her shoulder. And then Megan Bayne came out after the end of the match for a beatdown until Harley came out to make the save with a pipe. Keep that in your back pocket. That'll come up later. It's called foreshadowing, kids.
That's a useful tool that'll come in handy later.
Yep. Also, I can hear St. Patrick's Day on my voice. And as you mentioned, we had the 21-man Blackjack Battle Royal. That ended with Jungle Jack Perry eliminating Ricochet to win the AEW National Championship. It was a very fun battle royal. I am going to be a little annoyed forever because I don't know about you. I was watching on Amazon Prime, and as they transitioned from the free part of the show into the pay-per-view part of the show, no, I did not have to switch over, but the provider did, and I missed the entire thing that happened with Ciampa and Juice Robinson.
Okay, so
I had no idea what happened, and that was pretty annoying.
So I had my own issues tonight that I could not play this on my PlayStation no matter what. It's the first time it's ever happened. It was a real issue. I had to watch between my phone, and then thankfully I was able to switch it over to my Xbox. But you did have to switch on HBO Max.
Yes.
From the pre-show to the main show.
Okay, word to the wise, if you just watched the main show on HBO Max, I think it'll run the pre-show anyway.
It wouldn't even let you.
Oh, word? Okay.
Like, the main show wasn't on until it was on.
Yeah, so on Prime, I was able to watch the pre-show on the main broadcast, but there was just a, hey, this is starting soon thing as they did the thing from the pre-show to the main show. And like I mentioned, I missed that whole ending with Juice and Ciampa. So I don't know who eliminated whom or how or anything.
Yeah. So it came down to Ciampa eliminated Ace Austin, who made it into like the final 5, I think.
Yeah, shout out to him. He got some good shine in this match, man. I was very excited for him.
The chop fest he got into with Roosh was nuts.
Yeah.
So Austin tries skinning the cat. Ciampa knees him. And that eliminates him. Then he and Juice are fighting on the not on the outside, but on the apron.
On the apron,
outside the ropes.
That's where it caught.
Juice left hand jabs him, knocks him out. And then the transition happened, and that's where things, I think, for me, got a little muddied. And then Juice gets eliminated.
By whom?
Who was left in the match? It was
Ricochet and Jack, I guess. It was probably Ricochet then.
It was probably Ricochet.
Yeah.
And then Ricochet and Jack, and that was fun. That was a lot of fun. I feel bad because I don't think Ricochet ever got to showcase himself as this champion that he should have. And like, he basically had one feud for this title that went on forever. So I wish he was able to get some more defenses in against other people, but I'm happy that the feud's over. I'm happy that Jack won. I'm happy so many people got on the card.
Yeah.
And mostly, I'm surprised we didn't get a surprise debut or return. Considering this was a night chock full of them, this was like, wow, they didn't have anything new here during this match that typically does have somebody.
I think if they were going to do that, it would have been a gauntlet or something as opposed to a battle royal.
Well, no, they've debuted people in the battle royals before. It's usually the Joker kind of thing that they do.
Yeah, but that's when they do the like casino ones where they come out in pods as opposed to just a straight up battle royal.
Either way, I was slightly surprised, but it's okay. Not that like it didn't bother me. It was a fun match, and right guy won in this instance.
I would think so.
I was mostly just surprised Bowens was in the match, but Caster wasn't.
Well, apparently Bowens has been maybe getting recruited by Hook and the Ops.
Yeah,
so I think that's been happening on Collision a bit.
And if that does happen, what was this all about with the not acclaimed? But anyway, let's move on. Just quick thing for Maria. No, Sinners did not win Best Picture, but Michael B. Jordan did win Best Actor. It was one battle after another that won for Best Picture. And it is a fun movie. It is a fun movie if you want to go watch it. Sinners was great. I'm really happy for Michael B. He deserved it. Not Michael A, though. He doesn't deserve anything. But great movie. When did the Infantry leave TNA? I don't think they've been in TNA. I know they've been in Ring of Honor.
Well, Captain Sean Dean has been in AEW forever.
Yeah.
So they've just joined Shane Taylor Promotions, and they've been mostly a Ring of Honor team. But
yeah,
they're a lot of fun for what they do.
And a pipe will come in handy in California. Huh?
I can't tell if that's a crack joke or not.
Let's move on.
Late night. All right, let's go to the first match of the main show.
Oh no, he X'd himself out. I don't even know. You guys got to give me a second because I wasn't expecting the first match of the main show being for the AEW World Tag Team Championships as FTR defended against the Young Bucks. And let me be the first to say, I have plenty of crow that I need to eat. Because I went into this match, I knew it was going to be good. I said that on Wednesday. I knew the match was going to be good. But the problem was it felt like it was filler. And ultimately, I was kind of right about that. But just because it was... All right, let's talk. All right, the match was fucking fantastic. Quite frankly, might be one of the best matches between the Bucks and FTR. I can't definitively say it's their best because I have to go back and rewatch, but absolutely in the upper tier. Absolutely incredible. But given what happened after the match, yes, this match was filler. Beyond that, I got to give it to AEW because, boy, they don't typically do this. They made it so obvious Cope and Christian were coming back. In the video package before the match, inexplicably, there is just too much time focused on FTR taking out Cope and Christian in the video package and Beth. And then mid-match, Excalibur's inexplicably talking about FTR taking out Adam Copeland. Like, I get it. You need to prepare your audience. Too much, too little time.
Subtle as a brick.
But otherwise, absolutely incredible match. Starting out with the Bucks coming out with all of their children, which was very beautiful.
Yeah, it was nice.
I don't know who's Bucks, whose child, but one of their daughters doing just a fun handstand flip in the middle of the ring. My gut is saying that's Nick Jackson's daughter. Because if anybody's going to be doing flippy shit, it's going to be Nick Jackson's side of the family.
Lucha Libre!
But beautiful moment as the kids were in the front of the match. At some points in the match, Matt Jackson's son absolutely just willing his dad to keep the fight going.
Yeah.
Something that the Bucks needed as the Bucks were beaten and bloodied very early on in the match.
Yeah, Nick got split open.
I'll let you take over.
He got split open real early on the announce desk. And then also Matt ate a spike pile driver on the apron that completely fucked his shoulder. And that eventually led to him going to talk to his son and getting the hype that he needed.
I love that commentary. I think it was particularly Excalibur, who kept saying, like, this was serious. We don't know what it is. It's probably a stinger. And I'm glad that they use that because stingers are so vague that it's not dirty to be like, oh my God, I hope he didn't get a concussion, because then it's like, well, fuck, now I'm worried that the guy has a concussion, versus a stinger is such a vague injury that has such vague implications that it's like, okay, I know this is serious, but I don't have to worry about this guy's well-being after the match.
Stingers suck.
Oh, I've gotten a couple in my day. But overall, though, I thought that was a great bit of commentary to help sell it.
Yeah, no, commentary obviously was just great all night tonight. And we had Nigel at this point early on in the show. I've probably owned Sinners, but haven't watched it yet. I have not seen Sinners. I actually don't think I saw a single Academy nominated movie this year.
And Rev is not a horror movie guy.
That's true. Yeah. That sort of thing in my bag, baby. I will say this for Nick. He clipped a bleeder. He was
very
cautious to the point where I didn't realize Dax was bleeding.
I thought
I just thought it was Nick's blood.
Yep, absolutely.
It was crazy. Some other great spots here. Nick getting his foot on the rope off the pile driver. I thought was great. FTR hit the BTE trigger, and Nick kicked that one.
FTR trigger.
The FTR trigger, yep. Also, then towards the end of it, Nick topeing Stokely, and then they hit the TK driver, and Dax kicked out.
That tope onto Stokely was so beautifully placed. Because the tope usually, like, people don't think about it. It takes two people, one person to do the dive, one person to do the catch.
Mm-hmm.
He was perfectly placed, and whichever buck hit that tope, bullseyed him. Absolutely bullseyed him.
Yeah, and not only that, like, Stokely had stood up earlier in the match, which was hilarious. It was the first. Yeah. It's Nigel was like, "It's a miracle." Stokely can walk, because I think he interfered in an earlier TK driver attempt. So Nick taking him out and hitting again a man, as you said, in a wheelchair, so he's a lot lower than a normal person. Taking him out and then hopping up and then hitting the TK driver. Nick is low key one of the better wrestlers you'll ever see.
It's so weird to call one of the Young Bucks underrated, but Nick will never fully be appreciated for how good he is.
Yeah. He's so athletic.
Yeah.
And you get to see it sometimes when he gets to do, he does, again, the high-pitched lucha libre and, like, just goes around. But he is amazing the way he's able to move around the ring and the stuff he can do. And he always has been. And it's part of the reason why I kind of low-key miss singles Young Bucks matches.
I can't remember the last time we had one.
Oh, no, it's been years, and they've said as much. They're like, we don't want to do them, and I get it. But I remember some old BTE episodes when they were in Ring of Honor, and they would do, like, trios match, triple threats. Yep. And one would be in one, and one would be in the other. And Nick in those matches is just crazy. So, shout out to Nick Jackson. All right, towards the end of the match here, the end of the match was after Dax kicking out of that TK driver, the Bucks went for more bang for your buck, but then Cash came up and he knocked Nick off the top rope and nutted him, and then FTR was able to hit the Avalanche Shatter Machine onto Matt for the dub. And then, obviously, after that, they had the whole celebration, lights go out, and then we have a cool Tron, and it said, it was like Evenge, but then the R came up for the Rated R Superstar. Adam Copeland comes out. Christian Cage shortly then follows. Christian came out from behind, and he hit a kill switch on Dax. Cope had run in after that, and he hit a spear on Cash. And then Stokely is there, and he's standing, again, by the act of God. And eventually, after trying to beg off, he gets hit with a kill switch from Christian. The two then grab the titles and they're standing with them, and the Bucks roll into the ring, and they all kind of have a bit of a tense standoff before the Bucks eventually leave. And then CNC hold the ring as the Bucks leave, and FTR retreat with Stokely getting carried out by security.
So I love this. We've talked about it at length. We were at times both resentful of the fact that Cope and Christian were going to be inevitable for this title match against FTR.
I'm not resentful. You are. I'm great with it.
No. I mean, look, you agreed at some point that it was like we were in a holding pattern until they came back.
Very fair, yes.
And I am excited for them to win the AEW World Tag Team Championships, presumably in Canada at Dynasty. I am excited for that. It's going to be great for the lineage of AEW's tag titles. It's going to be great for longtime Attitude Era fans who grew up watching Cope and Christian or were just alive watching Cope and Christian back then. I'm very, very excited for that. Again, I was slightly resentful because there were so many teams that felt like they could have been the champs in the meantime, but FTR was the inevitable title match. You just needed to build to that.
Yeah.
But we're here now, and it feels like it's going to be worth it. And I'm excited for Cope Christian versus FTR, even though we already got it. We saw it already. But that standoff in the ring with the Young Bucks, that's what got me excited. That was like, to quote The Rock. You know?
Yeah.
And we're going to see Edge and Christian versus New Age Hardy Boys. That's what this is. And I'm so excited for that. I'm excited to see Cope and Christian tangle with the rest of the tag division. Bring Brody back for a night, for a match.
Oh, hell yeah.
That'll be great. That will be great. Cope and Christian versus the Rascals. That'll be great. So I'm very excited at the implications. Cope and Christian versus, just do it for fun. Like, hey, we like you, even though we have history. Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. So many fun possibilities before they decide to before they drop the titles or hang it up, whatever it may be. So very, very excited. This was a lot of fun. Great matchup, great action, great storytelling. And really excited for the future.
I'm just excited we get your father's dead jokes again. To go to the comments, Maria saying FTR are the GOATs. And honestly, I think what FTR said a couple of weeks ago during their that promo interview with the Bucks, the best three tag teams of this generation are them, the Bucks, and the Briscoes. And it's not even close.
It's so crazy because, again, it just shows how important AEW has made tag team wrestling and how important tag team wrestling is pretty much anywhere that isn't WWE. Because New Day should be in that conversation. The Usos should be in that conversation. There are other teams that I would include too, like the Motor City Machine Guns. I would put them in that conversation.
Yeah, that's
but
fair.
Overall, it's incredible what AEW and just, I guess, any wrestling that isn't WWE has been able to shine a light on how great tag team wrestling can be. And I to see some of the best of yesteryear versus what will be the best of, today. Bucks versus Cope and Christian. Bucks versus FTR. Not Bucks. Cope and Christian versus FTR. This is exciting. Absolutely exciting. Great stuff.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't know what his situation is, but if Gargano does end up coming to AEW and we do get the DIY reunion, them going up against FTR would be great, but them going up against the Bucks,
incredible,
would be insane, and that will probably be a PWG special.
Yep.
And then getting to go up against Cope and Christian would be great. And you did cut out there for a second there for me, so I don't know if you brought up the Lucha Brothers, but I think we have to throw them in the conversation as well. But I agree with you 100%. AEW has always said, mostly at the behest of the Bucks, we are going to have the best tag division in the world.
Yep.
And they absolutely do, bar none.
And consistently. The only time it ever faltered was when they put a little more emphasis on the trios titles. And that was just because they were taking people from the tag division.
Yeah.
But absolutely. Oh, by the way, Cope and Christian versus the Guns. Can't wait.
Oh, you mean Road Dogg and Billy?
That wasn't intentional at all, but that was seamless. Bravo.
Maria, about Nick Jackson, when we were talking about before, let's not get carried away. We don't need a Nick singles run.
Hey,
we don't.
Merch freak Nick Jackson. I'm here for it.
Yeah, he could use a singles run, but I get what you're saying, Maria. We're gassing him up a little bit. It's saying if they did do a singles match, it would have to be Matt versus Nick. I'm down. That happened, BTE 200.
That is true. That did happen there. I think it happened in TNA.
Oh, when they were, what was it, Generation
Max and
Z or whatever?
Jeremy.
Yeah.
Ugh.
TBT. All right, let's keep it moving. We have so much more to do.
I know, it's disgusting.
3 matches, and we're an hour in. Next up, we had Timeless Toni Storm against Marina Shafir. Everyone banned from ringside in this. I'll just jump to the end. Marina got into Mother's Milk, and then Toni went to Marina's eyes to get out of it. And then, well, there's really no polite way to say this. Toni bit Maria's tit and then backed her off. And then Marina charged at Toni, and Toni headbutted her. And then Toni rolled up Marina with the big package and got the dub.
Yep.
So I want to talk about the match before what happened after, because I like this a lot. Like,
I did too.
It was in a tough spot following a 5-star banger.
Yeah.
Which I feel like happens a lot in AEW when you're the second slot, but I think throwing Toni out there, the crowd was very behind her. Yes. And I honestly think this is probably Marina's best single showing since she's been in AEW.
I completely agree, and I'm glad you said it, because I want to acknowledge the fact that Marina deserves so much praise for how much work she's put into bettering herself across the board, on the mic, in the ring, as a character, her presence. All of these things have grown and gotten better exponentially since her debut a couple of years ago. So bravo to her. She talked about how much she wanted to get better. She went to Mox, legit, not kayfabe, not Death Riders. I'm talking legitimately. She went behind the scenes and said, I want to be better. And she made herself better. And to everyone's credit, this has been a collaborative process. There is a reason, despite me getting tired of the feud, there is a reason why Toni has been working with her as much as she has. Mm-hmm. This has been Marina's coming out party. This has been everybody saying, you know what? I want to see Marina against the rest of the women's division now. And that's because Toni put in the work to make her ready. So bravo to both of these ladies. Toni for being so giving. Marina for having the baton handed to her and being able to run with it. And the match was fun. Like we've seen some hardcore stuff between them already, between Blood and Guts, between the tag match with Bayne and Mina Shirakawa. Thank you. This was a match. And of course there were some shenanigans like the booby biting and stuff like that. But like, this was a match, and both women really played into it. I love the repeated running hip attacks on Marina. It felt like I'm hitting you with my hardest shot. Like I'm just gonna keep hitting you, and that was fun. I as much as we joke too about the boob bite, that was a Toni Storm effective counter to the Mother's Mother's Milk, yeah. It makes sense for a move that Marina has hit on her repeatedly over the last few months. She finally countered it, and she countered it in the most Toni Storm way possible.
Toni had a couple of those this match. She also got fired up because Marina slapped her in the ass at one point.
Yep.
That's just how Toni Storm rolls.
Yep. I love wrestlers who are able to incorporate their characters into their matches. Because and I'm not like, sometimes there are wrestlers who their matches are formulaic because it's about their character. Toni's matches are never formulaic, but she still manages to insert her personality into all of them. I truly, like, I'm not trying to overblow. I'm not trying to overhype. I truly think Toni Storm is going to go down as one of the best women's wrestlers of all time. And a match like this, to me, is a showcase of that. Sure, you have matches like the Hollywood Ending, you have matches against Mercedes Moné and other people, but it's a match like this where she's elevating someone and still having a seamless, flawless match as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and you talk about, you brought up the Hollywood Ending, and Maria saying here that she helped make Blake Monroe, and I agree. And now she's making a star out of Marina, and that's what she's so good at. We've always known Toni has the in-ring talent, and she's been phenomenal at it forever. And you had, like punk rock Toni with the flat brim hat. You had Outcast Toni, and now you have Timeless Toni. And Timeless is the character that has made her, like you said, one of the upper echelon of women ever.
100%.
And now, because now she has the character work to back up everything she can do in the ring.
Very much so.
All right, let's talk about what happened after. Hooray.
Oh, this isn't going to be divisive at all.
Yep. So after the match, Toni goes up the ramp and she's on the floor and she's swimming, I think as Nigel called it. And then Ronda fucking Rousey got into the ring.
Nuts.
And she called out Toni. And Toni goes back down to the ring and they get in a stare down. And security comes in and pulls them apart. And cool, we don't get any physical interaction until Marina comes over and sucker punches Toni as she's sitting on the top of the ropes. And then the two walk out towards the back. And then obviously we have Moxley coming in for his match. And we'll talk all about that in a second. But it appears, James, that Ronda Rousey has joined the Death Riders. So this is, I think, in a vacuum, a huge development. But it's obviously you have the out of ring things I think that Ronda brings as well.
We do our best when we're talking about these shows to talk about the show itself and not necessarily the stuff on the outside. We try to. I will be the first person to say Logan Paul is a terrible human being, but he's great in the ring. I'll be the first person to say I never need to see Tessa Blanchard again, but she's great at what she does. Ronda is a name. She is a huge name in the world of women's wrestling. Love her or hate her, you would not have gotten a WrestleMania main event for the women the way we did if it wasn't for Ronda.
Yeah, even though we were all exhausted, but yeah.
Yes. That's not a knock on the other women. That's not a knock on Becky or Charlotte, but it main evented because Ronda Rousey's name was attached. So I don't know what's going on. Is she all elite? No idea. She didn't get a
tweet yet.
Yeah, exactly. She didn't get a graphic. She didn't get a tweet. Other people did. So maybe this is a one-off or, a small program to hype up her fight against Gina Carano in May. Maybe. This isn't even Ronda's first appearance for Tony Khan. She wrestled in Ring of Honor last year.
Yeah.
I don't need a lot of Ronda, but I won't lie and say I'm not intrigued now that she's here.
Yeah, like I know Maria's saying Ronda versus Toni is going to be amazing. If that match does happen, yeah, it would probably be great, but cool.
I think it's going to happen. I think it's going to happen.
I don't know. Like, I was a very big Ronda Rousey fan when she, started in UFC and became a thing. And then, as we've come along now, a lot of public opinion has changed on her. And I don't think she's a terrible person. I know she's gone through a lot in her life and whatever. Yeah. Honestly, I'm more upset that we're just trafficking in that match that's coming up with Carano, more on Carano's side than Ronda's. Like, it's a fight that is happening 10, 15 years too late. And this is Nick, the fight fan, talking right now. It's happening 10, 15 years too late, a la McGregor Pacquiao 1.
That's what I said. I agree. I agree.
So it's just, and considering Carano's, off the field issues, to, use a phrase, like, I'm a little disappointed that AEW is peddling in this nonsense.
But
think, like I said, in a vacuum, fuck, Ronda and the Death Riders is so fucking cool.
No, it is. Look, I'm not Ronda Rousey, the person I'm not the biggest fan of. I can say it took 11 years. It was 11 years too late, but she apologized for her very, 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 very shitty comments. And she's kept her head down and her nose clean. So I'm not saying I would welcome her with open arms, but as long as she doesn't actively do anything stupid or say anything hateful, we're here. Let's make the most of it while we can.
Yeah. I think this is more for me, surprisingly, a Carano issue and not a Ronda issue.
Oh, Carano sucks, and it pains me that she sucks because I was a huge fan of her once upon a time.
Same.
Yeah, no, she absolutely sucks. Not even talking about the fight, just talking about what within the world of AEW. God willing, it brings some eyes in. God willing, it gets some people going. As long as they don't do too much, like if Gina Carano shows up on my TV, I'm gonna have an issue.
Yeah,
if it's just Ronda, I'm cool.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know who's broadcasting their fight, but I wonder, with the acquisition of Warner Brothers, like
that's a good question. I've been wondering too. Yeah, I've been wondering too.
It is what it is. But Maria does bring a good point here. Ronda is one of the biggest names AEW's ever had.
No, it's true. This is the company that has had sports stars across the board. We've had Shaquille O'Neal. We've had Mike Tyson. Ronda Rousey being a name on that list, it's a big attention grabber.
Yeah. And if she is sticking around, it's just popping in here. Ronda and Marina for the tag titles is,
I'm not going to lie to you. I was kind of surprised with the women's tag result because with this, I thought that's where we were going next.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, I think you would probably have to get a transition, not a transition team, but you have to get a face team in there for Marina and Ronda to probably get them in the future. But we'll see what Ronda's doing. Like, we don't know even if she's sticking around or this was just to promote the fight or whatever it was. As we said hello to Charles. What up, dude? Shayna's posting about it. We now have, 2 of the 4 horsewomen event MMA in AEW. It's a big deal.
No, it is. It's a bummer that Shayna is contracted to WWE because I would have loved to see her come to AEW, even if it was just a team with Marina or now to just be part of this. I forget what the 4th horsewoman's name was, but she was by far like the least involved with wrestling. I think she had like maybe 2 or 3 matches and it just wasn't her thing. But yeah, I very cool to think about. And look, Fernando saying, stop hating on Ronda. This is what I'm going to say. I'm speaking objectively here. Take away everything outside of what happens within the world of wrestling. A lot of people turned on Ronda because of her wrestling stuff. Like her run up until WrestleMania in that main event, legendary. If she never showed up again afterwards, I think everybody would talk way more favorably about Ronda. But the reality is, once she came back, oh boy.
Oh no, you're good. It was a Cody joke.
Once she came back, a lot of the cracks in the foundation started to become very apparent. Once she came back, a lot of the issues started to become a lot more apparent. And look, I will forever give credit to anybody that steps into that ring because they're doing stuff that I know I couldn't do on my best day.
Oh, yeah.
But with Ronda, a lot of people started turning on her because of the wrestling. So I'm saying it right now for you guys. I'm willing to give her a shot. I'm willing to me, this is second chance time. So if this is her way of saying my legacy in wrestling will not be what my last run in WWE was, I'm all for that. Let's do it. But right now, I have to be honest, I'm more into this because of the rule of cool than I am in this because I'm excited for what she can actually do at this point. I hope she surprises me. I hope she and Marina have a hell of a title run. But at this point, let's see. She has more to prove than I have to have faith.
Yeah, and I guess we do sound a little bit like we're hating, and we don't mean to. We're trying to more just discuss all of the angles, and obviously our personal biases are coming through a little bit here. Yeah, but because Fernando, you do bring up another good point. Ronda is great for AEW.
Absolutely,
she's a ginormous name. This is going to make headlines, maybe not on ESPN, but it's going to make a lot of headlines. And you have a point. She's not Tessa. You have a very good point there. So,
she's not.
And I think Charles brings up a good point too. Especially what you were just saying, James. This is a possible redemption arc for her in pro wrestling. If she can maybe, I don't want to say make up for some of the things she did in her post WrestleMania main event run, but bring the crowd back around to her, depending on how she books and how she interacts with everybody and everything. There's a shot here where she can get the fans back on her side, or the fans that she lost back on her side.
I would like to see it.
Yeah,
I would like to be pleasantly surprised.
Also, what I was laughing at was saying Cody's the biggest name in wrestling according to Cody. You mean Raheem? All right, let's keep it moving. As I mentioned, following this match, Marina and Ronda walked out towards the tunnel where Jon Moxley was making his entrance, which was a really cool. Possibly, Charles, possibly. It was really cool. I like that transition very, very much, where we had the interaction with Moxley and Ronda. Obviously, Marina gave Mox the face slap to hype him up. I like that a lot. Yeah. But that leads us into Jon Moxley versus Konosuke Takeshita for the AEW Continental Championship. And you know what? What time is it? Yeah, we're cool. I was bricked up for this match. Let's go. Oh, God, did I love this.
This was such a good, great, amazing, fun, awesome match. I'm sure I could come up with more descriptive words, but wow, was this a banger. These two guys hurt me watching it. My body is hurting after that match. I can't imagine how they feel.
Yeah. And I do want to mention there was no time limit on this. They threw out that rule from the Continental thing, but nobody at ringside. And I did like the fact that they did go over the 20-minute time limit, and commentary pointed that.
But not that much, though.
Yeah, it was about 23 minutes, I think.
And I love that, actually, because it still felt like a Continental title match. It just needed a little bit of overtime.
Yeah, it was the 5 more minutes, but it was built in.
Thank you. Absolutely.
Takeshita's eye. His black eye with the shiner he got from Claudio a couple of weeks ago, it popped on a stomp on the apron. And I've watched Rocky. That's bad.
Yeah, it freaked me out watching it.
Honestly, it added to the match, I think, because it didn't look like they were going for color at all.
Yeah,
but the fact that
in a Jon Moxley match.
Yeah, surprisingly. But A, the fact that Takeshita was the guy bleeding is hilarious, like you mentioned. But B, it added so much more to it. And I know we had quite a bit of blood tonight, but this one,
yeah, that was great.
That's one thing. 2, Mox becomes the first ever man to kick out a Raging Fire.
Yes,
by a millisecond, and to the
incredible.
Point where Paul Turner's hand hit the mat, but he went, "No, Moxley kicked out before my hand hit the mat."
Yep.
Wow.
Brilliant.
All right, so to jump to the end here, Moxley had worked over Takeshita's knee for a bit, so that gave out when he went for the power drive knee. Moxley hit a Death Rider, Takeshita kicked out. Mox then hit an avalanche Death Rider, and Takeshita kicked out again. Brilliant. And I wrote in my notes, all caps, Takeshita kicked out. What the fuck? Mox then worked in to get a choke, and as he was doing so, Takeshita just flipped him off. So then Mox locked it in and passed Takeshita out.
What I loved about it was how much he locked it in.
Yeah, and how much he had to work for it too.
Yeah, he wrapped himself all over Takeshita that Takeshita didn't have a limb to move.
Mm-hmm.
It was beautifully done. And I know Jon Moxley will never be lauded as one of the better technical wrestlers out there, but he low-key is.
Yeah, he really is. Like, he gets always the brawler type of thing, but when Mox wants to lock in and do some technical stuff, he is fucking good at it.
Absolutely. This match had so many great spots, whether it was the Death Rider, the top rope Death Rider. There was one great bit where Takeshita caught him with a brutal clothesline.
Mm.
And I was just like, wow. That, like, not to turn it into a thing, but like, it felt like the guy was flying. It felt like an anime. It felt like Dragon Ball. It felt like Superman. Like, it felt like he propelled himself in the air to hit that clothesline. And it was gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Great matchup between these two. I think. We also didn't talk. Takeshita going for that knee strike and then not being able to hit it because Mox worked over the legs so well throughout the match. Beautifully done. Beautifully done, and ultimately cost him the match.
Yeah, it started with a dragon screw leg whip early, and Moxley continued to work over that knee over and over again, which is kind of funny because Moxley's the one with the leg problem. You know, he's been, Matt Jackson selling his leg for since the Continental Classic.
Exactly.
Or even before that with the whole stuff with Kyle O'Reilly. So I found it funny that the fact that it was Takeshita's leg, the one that gave out. I do want to bring up, and Charles brought it up, the show of respect after the match. Moxley offered his hand after the Death Riders came out and was cheering him up. And Takeshita actually went to leave initially before eventually coming back and accepting the handshake. So really well done. Obviously, I think this cements the face turn for Takeshita. We will see what happens with the Don Callis family. As Maria is asking how long before they turn on him, the answer to that is Wednesday.
I don't know definitively that it'll be Wednesday because the whole family took losses tonight.
That's true.
So I would say no later than Dynasty. Dynasty is the cutoff. The pay-per-view is the cutoff. It's either going to happen before Dynasty or at Dynasty. I won't go as far as to say Wednesday, but it's coming very soon.
Yeah, and I'm super excited for it just because you could tell even in this match, everyone was cheering for everyone because they want to cheer Mox, they want to cheer Takeshita, and frankly, we just cheered a great fucking match.
As it should be. Both these guys.
That is the good stuff right there. Inject that into my veins. I will be watching this match back a lot.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I got to say, the respect coming from Maria here. Moxley is the Ric Flair of AEW.
That's not true. Mox has only been married once, and he committed to rehab.
Fair and fair. But I get where you're coming from. Like, he's the ace. He is, weirdly enough, like one of the cornerstones of AEW.
Yep.
And you don't think that because, everyone thinks he's a WWE guy, but he's not. He's an AEW guy in my head now.
No, 100%. There is such a disconnect between Dean Ambrose and Jon Moxley. And even though Jon Moxley does feel like the reasonable extension of Dean Ambrose, they're just leagues apart from one another in so many ways. I think it's fair to say AEW does not exist as it does without Jon Moxley.
Yeah. I mean, hell, every once in a while I pull up him debuting. And I believe it was Double or Nothing.
Do you know how hard it is for me to be able to cheer Mox when he debuted taking out Kenny?
Well, if it makes you feel better, he also took out Jericho. But yeah,
you know how hard it is.
Kenny.
Do you know how hard it is for me to accept Mox back into my life after what he did to Brian? That's how good he is.
It's crazy, right? He tried to literally kill Bryan Danielson, and now we're all cheering him because he had a solid run during the season.
Where else but professional wrestling?
Exactly. God, I love him. It's saying Mox reminds him of Chuck Liddell. Yeah, I
see it.
That.
Yeah, I see it.
The Iceman. Good pull.
Yeah.
God, I love Moxley's run. Anyway, after this match, God, I love the shenanigans today. We get a video package as Moxley's starting to leave, and we get a dude in a back to tank.
Thank you for saying back to tank. I was going to say back to tank. Thank you for saying back to tank.
Multiple Star Wars references tonight, kids. And it turns out it's Will motherfucking Ospreay. So,
Spray.
Yep. He hits the ring. Mox hops back over the barricade. He meets him. They start brawling. The Death Riders gets involved. That doesn't help. Ospreay takes them all out with a bevy of Oz Cutters and Hidden Blades. And then he hits a tope. And then Mox calls to the retreat. And the Death Riders fall back as we get Will back. The Billy Goat has returned. Interesting. Looks like he's going after Moxley first.
I mean, it makes sense from I was looking at it, and as it was happening, I was like, oh, this is awkward. Like, Mox is a baby face now. Like, this just doesn't feel right. But honestly, fuck that. I don't care that the people are cheering for him. If he took me out, yes.
I know
don't
Joe
care.
kind of forgot that happened, so thank you, commentary, for bringing it back up.
No, absolutely. Like, and it's funny that you say that because I think it might have been Brian Alvarez or Meltzer. I don't know who it was, but somebody this week criticized AEW that they don't do a good enough job of reminding people what happens on their shows, of recapping stuff from the past. And it's like, this happened last year. And I struggled for a moment to think why this was happening. Like, wow, he's going for the Continental title. Why wouldn't he go for the world title? Oh, that's why, because this son of a bitch tried killing him.
Yeah. Thank you, Charles. It was Alvarez. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Charles. Yeah. So commentary really did a great job of reminding, like, I needed it. Just a quick little thing. Like, oh, that's why. That's what happened. So very grateful for that. I'm excited that he's back. Like, we, in a night full of returns, some of them, yep, you and me both, Maria. In a night full of returns, this one felt the most special. Kenny's return, he was only gone for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Cope and Christian, we knew it was coming. You know, like, we knew it was coming. Ospreay, it was like, we know it's coming, but when? Like, it could be any time, it could be late. I knew it was closer than most people realized because simply we were getting vignettes every week.
Yeah.
So, but all that said, I saw a tweet that perfectly captured it. The feeling has returned. And yes.
And that's Ospreay's thing too, right?
Yeah.
Like, they started using that when Ospreay was really on his ascent there before he got hurt.
So I don't know what I want out of this upcoming feud. I don't know if I want Moxley to apologize, like Swerve Hangman kind of thing, where he acknowledges, that was fucked up. My bad. Or I don't even know if I want Will to win, because I want Will to go after the goddamn world title.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's going to be coming at All In at some point, but
my point being, like, does he win and lose the Continental title by the time we get to All In a couple of months? So it's like, I don't know. So either way, so glad that he's back. He looks great.
Yep.
He looks great. He was cut. He was jacked, Daddy. So so happy the Billy Goat's back, and I'm excited for these potential matchups. So excited for the main event scene has changed since he's been gone. Andrade's a player. Brody King is a player. Bandido is a player. Swerve, full on heel again. So there is a lot that we could do here, and it's exciting.
Yeah. And you bring up Swerve, I have to imagine that comes around at some point for Will.
Absolutely.
And there's so much with Will. I'm so excited for him. I did want to pop on a couple of things. Maria was agreeing that AEW sucks at explaining things, and you and both Charles are bringing up those video packages. And I was a little surprised they didn't show more of the Death Riders taking him out in those video packages, so that we were reminded, as opposed to just Excalibur telling us, like, hey, remember they killed him a few months ago?
I think that's coming Wednesday, like during his return segment. I think we're probably going to get a video reminder of it then.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The whole gang is back. Yeah, AEW is probably at the most full strength they've been in a long time. The only person I can think of is Samoa Joe. Who's out.
I would say, because we don't know the severity. Like, we know it's bad, but maybe Adam Cole.
Yeah, I think Cole, I've respectfully, I don't want to say written off.
Yeah,
but I'm just going to assume that he's not going to be around. If he comes back, that would be great.
Kyle O'Reilly.
Oh, yeah, Kyle's out. But I think in the terms of the main event scene,
I think Kyle's on his way. They were setting him up for that with Mox. Maybe he was on his way for the Continental title, or maybe he was on his way for the mid-card title. But you could, international. I think you could very realistic. Jay White, another one.
Oh, yeah, thank you, Charles. Yeah,
Jay
White's
that's
the guy.
Probably the biggest one.
Yeah, him and Joe are the two.
Hey, Jay White, stop fucking tweeting. Okay, ready? Stop it. I knew it wasn't real. But all night I'm thinking, maybe Everybody else is returning. The only person who isn't is goddamn Britt Baker. So stop it.
Oh, she tweeted something too.
I mean, but admittedly, she was instigated tweeted.
Mm,
Somebody brought it up to her.
yeah.
So I give her some credit on that. But Jay White, stop it. I have to settle for goddamn David Finlay. I don't want David Finlay. I want Jay White. I want my knife pervert back.
I have a couple of comments against you, but I'm just happy it has its lights back on. Also, dude, you're watching us with no power. Thank you. And
He told us earlier. Yeah,
I know. Appreciate it. Imagine having no power and using, I guess, your phone battery in an emergency situation to watch us. Thank you. Charles
one of the highest compliments I think we've ever gotten.
Yeah, definitely. Charles making a good point. Takeshita maybe moving up towards the main event scene. Like, I would love to see him get a title match.
He's going to get the international title from Okada.
Oh yeah, but I would think so. But it'd be kind of cool if he got a title match.
Yeah, absolutely.
Him versus MJF. Maybe unless Tony's keeping
it happened once before, but it was during MJF's first run with the belt.
Oh yeah, that's right. And that's a completely different Takeshita.
Absolutely. Completely different Takeshita.
So, yeah. James, apparently you're trying to kill Adam Cole. Don't worry, Maria. That already happened. The Bucks took care of it.
I want him back happy and healthy. All right? But I just want him healthy and happy. I don't need him back. I just want him happy and healthy.
What's his video game? Is it Chugs?
Yeah. Yep. Chugs.
Maria calling Ospreay versus MJF at All In for the title. That seems to be the play at the moment, but we have a lot of time.
It's one of the most likely options, but I don't think it's a lock. Quite frankly, I don't think I necessarily want it to be. And I've talked about this before. I enjoyed their mid-card feud for the international title, or at the time, the American title.
Yeah, which also ended at All In.
Yes. So I wouldn't hate it, but I don't need that to be it. I'd be happy if it's Swerve. I'd be happy because I would like it to be someone that he maybe hasn't beaten yet. Like before all these shenanigans, Hangman is someone he hasn't beaten. Swerve. I think Swerve is the big one. He hasn't beaten Swerve.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind it being that. Like, I would love Kenny versus Ospreay because that's going to be a banger of a match, but he's beaten Kenny already. So
in New Japan, I think, though, right?
No, he beat him in AEW.
Oh, yeah,
Kenny
that's right.
Beat Ospreay in New Japan. Ospreay beat Kenny in AEW.
Right. Ospreay was still signed to New Japan, though.
Yes.
So, yeah. Right. Thank you. Let's see. There's a couple of things I want to get back to, but Maria's saying Tony has an annoying habit of cooling off wrestlers after huge moments. Kyle O'Reilly submitting Moxley stars. Kyle just got hurt.
Kyle's body cooled him off.
Yeah. I get your point, though, Maria. That does happen occasionally.
Yeah, like arguably, and we'll talk about it, there are a lot of people that think Brody should have won tonight.
I would have loved it. Boy. We'll get to it.
As a Brody fan, I would have loved it, but yeah.
Yeah. Charles pointing out Darby could also get mixed up in the main event scene at some point. He doesn't need the title, though.
See, Darby Allin absolutely should be AEW World Champion before the end of his career.
Mm-hmm.
But Darby Allin has made it clear he does not care about the World Championship the way he cares about other things in AEW. Like, I think he would genuinely be just as happy, if not happier, to win the TNT title again. Or to maybe win the tag titles with somebody like Orange. Or maybe not, because I could see him never winning the tag titles again because of Sting.
Yeah.
But he has made it clear the world title is not his top prize in AEW. That said, it would be a disservice to both him and the world championship lineage if he's never a part of it.
The crazy thing is, whenever it happens, I kind of think it should be against MJF.
Yeah,
which
that I would love.
I think you need a bunch of other things to happen first, but the fact that he always loses to MJF due to all these shenanigans and the headlock takeover, like, that's the story. As we say hello to Dev. What up, dude? So, like, I think that story is already baked into it. So whenever that does eventually happen, but I would imagine that would take a third MJF title reign.
Yes.
So
no, I agree. I would be upset if I saw Darby challenging for the title at All In before Ospreay. Like, it should be Ospreay first.
Yeah, he's next.
Yes.
Maybe not like immediately next, but
he's next first guy in line. Like,
yeah.
for somebody winning it for the first time, he's next in line over Darby
or
Brody.
I'm penciling him in at All In. I think we all
I
are.
think so too. Yeah.
But... All right. There was a couple of good questions here. Fernando, are the Death Riders heel or babyface? The answer to that is yes. Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
So Moxley's a face. Maybe Claudio. Maybe, but not really. Like, he just cheated this last week to win a match.
Yep.
So Mox is a face surrounded by heels who, at the moment, are okay with him being a face because he's winning again. So we thought way back he was going to get betrayed. It still might happen, but I think he's safe right now just because he's still Continental champion. He's still pulling rank and nobody's really outshining him. So we'll see. But Mox face, group heel.
And let's be real too. Mox hasn't really changed his character all that much. He just doesn't really have the Death Riders interfering, mostly because he can't, because it's the Continental title. Well, and he's not like cheating as much. As
I can't fully agree because the Mox of last year would not have shaken hands with Takeshita after the match.
Fair. That's fair.
Like, he is definitely leaning more babyface, but he's one of those guys. He's like Samoa Joe. Babyface or heel, his personality is largely the same. Mm-hmm. It's just his actions are going to be different.
Yeah. And even then, and I mean this in a good way, like minuscule, the way he...
like another one that we're seeing that right now is Swerve. Like, he's definitely way more aggressive right now as a heel. But, like, he was doing this heinous shit as a babyface, too.
Yeah. Or hell, even when MJF made his face run, he was doing most of the same shit. Like, he was cheating, poking people in the eye. It was just, he was our scumbag, and now he is just a scumbag. Yep. This was the other big question I wanted to get to. And I know this is probably a big to-do, and I don't want to talk too long on it, because we could probably do a whole half-hour episode.
I saw this question. This was a great one.
Who is more important to the launch of AEW, Moxley or Jericho?
So, in my opinion, they are equally important. AEW would not have had a chance to launch without Chris Jericho. The launch wouldn't have skyrocketed the way it did if it wasn't for Jon Moxley.
Mm-hmm.
Because Chris Jericho, it's well documented, Chris Jericho versus Kenny Omega is what gave Tony Khan the thought that maybe we could have another company. And being able to sign those guys is what turned it into AEW. People were excited. I remember the hype for the launch of AEW like it was yesterday. I remember watching BTE and then they take out their phones, AEW, all that stuff.
And then Hangman has the different one. I think it's a Double or Nothing.
Double or Nothing. If Mox doesn't show up on day one the way he does, it would have been a great, fun pay-per-view. It would not have had people blowing the lids off their heads the way it did if it wasn't for Mox's debut. He came in on day one and took out the two top guys. He took out Kenny Omega and he took out Chris Jericho. That's it. So it's not an either or, it's a 1A, 1B.
Yeah, I think it depends. And if you use the word launch, I'm going to say, specifically that word, I'm going to say it is Jericho, just because, like you said, there is no jumping off point for AEW without Jericho. And obviously Kenny and the rest of the Elite. Yeah. But in terms of staying power, it's Moxley.
Yeah.
So they're both critical, and I know this word gets thrown around. They're both critical pillars.
Yeah.
Or not even that. They're critical to the foundation.
Yes.
If you look at it, it's the Elite, it's Jericho, and it's Moxley. Those guys build the foundation, and then, oh my God, I'm doing the MJF promo.
Are you including Cody and the Elite on that? Because, right?
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to.
It depends on who's writing the history book. Because Cody,
I say the elite. I'm also including Hangman in that too.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So,
I agree.
Yeah, it's those guys.
No, for sure.
Yeah. It's a very good discussion piece. Navarro is awake.
How you doing, brother? Welcome to the show. Yeah, we talked about it a little bit before. Unfortunately, you kind of missed it. Just missed it. It's a big deal. It's a divisive deal. But the most important thing is everyone is talking about it.
Yep.
So mission accomplished if that was the goal.
Yep. All press is good press.
Likewise. Hope you're doing well, man. It's been too long.
Yeah, I love you, dude. Let's see. I wanted to pop in a couple of things here. See, Charles saying Pac also tend to be a babyface. I think Pac is just a ruthless bastard. I think
he might not be the backstabbing bastard, but he is a bastard, according to Justin Roberts.
Yeah, he doesn't necessarily cheat in his matches, but he gives no quarter.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why he leans heel. And obviously, there's only one true heel in the Death Riders, and yes, it is Wheeler Yuta.
Scrappy Doo himself.
Also, wanted to say hello to Jeffrey. He's the world champ.
Yep, there you go, Jeffrey. And wait, what was this one? Ospreay almost cost me a heart attack on his fall. I agree. I was so fucking scared, and even he sort of did the neck thing afterwards. I was like, oh god.
Yep.
Not another Wardlow. Another one.
Oh yeah, he's out. I mean, yeah.
He's not a main eventer, but he's out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep it rolling.
Yeah.
God, there's still so much more to talk about.
It's insane.
At least this one is unfortunately kind of short.
Yeah.
And it was the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship match. It was the Babes of Wrath versus, which, by the way, great name, Divine Dominion.
Finally, something I can get behind.
Yes.
Finally, a women's tag team name that I'm like, you know what? This wasn't put in a random name generator.
I like it. So we quickly had, before the match, a update backstage with Willow after she got taken out earlier in the night following her TBS Championship match. She was cleared, but she's like, oh, look, I'm hurt, but I'm going to go out there. I'm going to get payback. And then, as Harley put it, they're sick of their shit. Spoiler alert, it didn't go very well.
I have to say it. Tonight was not a great look for kayfabe booker Tony Khan. Why let her wrestle?
Well, I mean, Willow's the one who put herself in the situation in the first place.
Sometimes you need people to be able to tell you no. And Willow, somebody needed to be able to tell you no here. You were led astray. And even she, let's be real, that promo backstage, she didn't look eager or excited. She was like, well, I said I would do it, and I can't let Harley down.
Yep.
And it's like, you can't. You know what's letting her down? Wrestling hurt. That's letting her down. Just say, you know what? We'll rebook this for Wednesday.
Yeah, keeping our titles is not letting you down.
Yeah, just ridiculous.
But yeah, this ended very quickly. It ended with Bayne.
The quickest match of the night. I think it was like 5 or 6 minutes.
Yeah, it ended with Bayne hitting her massive lariat and then on Willow, and then Bayne and Kross hit a double choke slam, and they won the titles. And look, I'm very happy for Bayne and Kross. We've talked about it a lot here on the show.
I'm so sad.
Yeah. Yeah, at the same time, I'm like, yeah, I'm devastated for the Babes of Wrath because they are phenomenal. They're one of my favorite tag teams. But
not even where I was going.
Oh, I'm very just happy. I was going to say the other side of it is I'm very happy to see Bayne and Kross win these titles just because, as I've said, we've talked about it a lot here on the show. At least for me, my first experience, my first introduction to both of these women was their match at House of Glory where they
absolutely
tore the house down, and we got to beat both of them, and they could not have been lovelier. So I'm super thrilled for them. I'm now realizing I think you're going with Penelope Ford there.
Heartbroken.
Yeah.
Heartbroken. This woman cannot catch a break. Either they were supposed to win it a couple of weeks ago, for sure, or the rematch tonight was going to maybe be with it. Or maybe they weren't supposed to win it, and this was the plan. It was always going to be a pivot to Kross. Either way, still awful for Ford.
Yeah.
Oh, that was heartbreaking. I'm so happy for Bayne. I'm so happy for Lena Kross. I thought that the Babes of Wrath should have lost for a little bit, and I'm okay with them. They're the first ever. It doesn't matter if they had a year-long reign with the belt or a 2-month reign with the belt. First ever. History books. You're set. But I feel really bad for Penelope Ford here.
First of all, tell that to Finn Balor, but
you know what? We still talk about it.
Touche.
We still talk about it. He might not, like, he says, like, I want to lift the curse of that, or I want to lift the stain of that from my record. You know what, buddy? You were a world champion a day more than hundreds of people wish they could have been.
Quite literally millions of people.
Yes.
Maybe even billions. But I think Charles has got a point here. Penelope is champ by proxy. It would be great if they could freebird the titles, but Toni hasn't really shown.
He's not a huge fan of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we had the whole thing with the Bang Bang Gang.
One of the dumbest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, everything could have been solved if we just freebirded the titles, but no. So it was what it was. And it's calling you out saying all his RPG names come from a name generator. So
that's fine. You're not being paid millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars to do this.
So yeah, this was the weird one. It was because it was just so fast and quick, but very emotional on very many fronts.
Yeah, big time. And congratulations, really, congratulations.
Yeah,
Megan Bayne's first title in AEW. It's a big deal. I know people want her in the singles title hunt. This is very methodical. I'm a huge fan of Bayne. This is the right move for her for right now.
Yeah, and honestly, Kross coming in and absolutely killing it in her first couple of weeks, and she has a title already. So I am hyped for this team. I'm hyped to see what they do, and I'm very happy for the both of them.
Likewise.
All right, let's keep rolling. Next up, we had Swerve Strickland versus Brody King. You can already guess the chance. Swerve had on some Candyman gear. Thought you would appreciate that one, James.
Thank you for bringing that up. I loved it. I think it suits heel him beautifully.
Yeah, and I gotta say, this was for a non-DQ match incredibly violent.
Yes, they really this was like, you know how movies could be like a hard PG-13 versus like rated R. This was like as hard a PG-13 you could get.
It was, or I was gonna say, hell, a PG movie had boobs in it once. Shout out to Airplane.
Different time.
Yep. Well, that was before PG-13, but thanks Temple of Doom for that. Anyway, anything in this match was a weapon, whether it be Swerve exposing multiple parts of the turnbuckles to get those. Swerve ripped up the padding on the floor. And
brutal spots on that, by the way.
Yep.
Two big ones.
Yep. They were using the sidewalk slam from Brody. And then I will get to the other one from Swerve in a minute. They were using the barricades and they were exposing the edges of that. It was like everything is a weapon when you were fighting for the title of the most dangerous man in AEW.
Thank God it wasn't a death match.
They tried. They tried their damnedest. And quite frankly, I wouldn't mind if they ran this back as one. But
what up, by the way? Welcome to the chat.
How's it going? That other spot I mentioned on the exposed floor was Swerve hitting a vertebreaker.
Jesus Christ.
Which, shout out to him getting Brody up. Brody's a big dude. That's not an easy spot to hit. So he hits the vertebreaker.
He hit that massive deadlift powerbomb onto the apron.
Oh, yes, that too.
The core strength that both of those men need to have to pull off that spot. Like, I'm sure Brody assisted him as much as he could, but at a certain point, that is simply Swerve lifting him from the mat up and then back down. Incredible show of strength.
Yeah, man. Honestly, and I've seen this recently on Reddit mostly because Swerve's been doing a lot of promotional stuff. Somebody put a picture of Swerve back in NXT versus where he is now.
Oh my
God, man has put in the fucking work.
Night and day. I just low-key, real quick moment, I gotta say it. I am very happy for like almost every member of Hit Row. AJ Francis just re-signed with TNA. I think is one of the best signings they've done in years. He is such a great utility player for them. Ashanti Adonis just got signed to, I think, Ring of Honor. So happy for him. B-Fab, they're planting some seeds for her with Jade Cargill. I don't know if you saw that they did it on SmackDown, that like backstage bit.
Yep.
It took a while to get there, but everybody's doing something. So happy for that group.
A little surprising considering where they all ended up right after they broke up, but I'm glad they're all getting their stuff together. And Swerve, he's a man who bet on himself in AEW, and
absolutely,
man, has he come out on top.
So happy for Swerve.
After he hit that vertebreaker, he got Brody back in the ring, hit a Swerve stomp, and then Brody kicked out at 1.
Yep.
And
a couple times tonight, we got the one count kick out. The Bucks did it after the FTR trigger. This one, like, when used right, I'm all for it.
Yeah. Brody then ate a couple of house calls, did not go down.
Yep.
And then he finally got hit with the third one. He went down and he got pinned.
Are you liking the standing house calls that Swerve's been hitting lately?
So on a dude that's standing up instead of kneeling?
Yeah.
He has adapted that move so well to whether a guy's kneeling or standing. It's a very out of nowhere move, and it just looks awesome every time he hits it.
Yep. He hit it on Kenny, I think, in their match. And I was like, holy shit. Like, he just got the air on it.
I don't remember who it was against. Maybe it was Kenny, maybe it was somebody else, but he's picked dudes off in midair with it recently. And it's crazy. Oh, it might have been Knight, actually.
I think I prefer the kneeling one because it looks like he's putting you down, but it is visually impressive that he's hitting it in as many spots as he's been hitting it.
And I think you can kind of even see the difference with the ending here. He hit those couple on a standing Brody, and Brody didn't go down. And then Brody went down. Then he hit that big one because he gets more power with it when the guy's kneeling. And that's the shot that put Brody down. Yeah. And it looks so, it is, I don't want to say better visually, but it just looks more powerful. And obviously, to take down a guy like Brody, you're going to have to pack as much of a wallop as you can.
Yep. Charles saying it was Christian Cage, and he definitely did do it against Christian Cage. But I know very recently he had done it, which is why I think it was Kenny that he did it to.
Yeah. After the match, speaking of Kenny, Prince Nana went underneath the ring and pulled out a cinder block for Hangman. He probably could use that. And they placed Brody's head on it for Swerve to Swerve stomp him into the cinder block. But your man, Kenny Omega, came out for the save and ran them off.
Can I say, this might be the first and only time I've ever been disappointed that it was Kenny Omega who made the surprise return. Because when I saw that cinder block, that flicker of hope, Keith Lee,
I thought the same thing.
I know I'm never getting it. I know he's gone. I know it sucks. It breaks my heart. I don't think we're ever getting Keith Lee back ever again, but I will always hold out hope that he'll show up one more time. And whether it's Swerve, who makes the most sense, or somebody else, my God, I would love Keith Lee back. But yay, Kenny's back. It was a quick trip to Japan. Few weeks, that's it. I don't know. Like, Dynasty's coming up. I don't know if you run back Kenny Swerve at Dynasty, or if you put Kenny versus MJF and then you do Kenny Swerve like in between. I don't know. But I'm just glad he's back. He looked good.
Yeah, I told you that was an easy flight. Easy.
Yeah, I've taken that flight. It ain't easy. Yeah. Ain't nothing easy. I'm not flying private, I'm sure, the way he did, but no.
I don't think Kenny probably wouldn't fly private. First class.
Are you telling me that you, like, if Tony Khan needed him back, he's not putting him on his jet?
Fair. That's fair. I think, I guess Kenny was probably first class. It'd be nice to see it on BTE, but
I could say when I did my 24-hour back and forth trip from Florida to New York back to Florida.
Oh, for the Kenny Bryan match? Yeah.
When I flew back to Orlando the next morning, I was on the flight with Kenny.
That's right.
He was in first class. I will give you that. He was in first class. It took guys, never approach a celebrity at the airport. Say hi if you want, but that's it. It took everything in me to not bother this man on the plane. All I kept thinking, I'm breathing the same air. I'm breathing the same recycled air as Kenny Omega right now after that match. But I persevered and I did the right thing. I let him be.
I'm always a big like head nod, you know, and let them be guy.
I'm very much a big fan and walk by.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, maybe a quick fist bump, but like low key so that like no one like runs over, be like, oh my god, who are you?
Yep. One celebrity, one wrestler that I saw at the airport, and I was like, I'm good. I don't even need to bother. He was Bobby Fish. I was just like, if you want to come up to me, Bobby, you can. Like, that's as far as it goes.
Charles saying it'd be really cool if we got Keith Lee, even if it was just for one more match. Honestly, I would just take an appearance at this point. He's so cool.
I respect the fact that AEW does a really great job of not encroaching on these wrestlers' privacy, but I would love some clarity. It's literally been years at this point.
Yep.
I would love to know what is going on. Like, it has to be long COVID. Like, that's what it has to. Like, the timing is just, it had to be long COVID. And I don't want to, like,
it's been the rumor.
Yeah, I don't want to, like, carelessly speculate or anything, but, like, no matter what it is, it had to have been something severe at this point. So it sucks, but I would just love something. That way I'm not left wondering every time, is this going to be the moment he comes back?
I mean, it's that or he just doesn't want to do it anymore. Either way, we don't have any clarity because he doesn't want to provide any.
He seemed to say that he wants to come back. It's just not really possible. And he keeps saying at this moment, but moments are passing.
Word.
All right, let's keep it going.
Yeah, we got like 4 more matches, man. It's 3 a.m.
Jesus Christ.
It is late, but next up we got Thekla versus Kris Statlander for the AEW Women's World Championship. 2 out of 3 falls match. I concur. So Thekla got the first fall. She got a roll up with a bridge, but she used the ropes for the leverage, and the ref didn't see it, so Stat was pissed. Statlander got the second fall by powering out of an octopus hold and then slammed Thekla into a turnbuckle before maneuvering into and hitting Saturday Night Fever.
Great hit. Great way to hit it.
Yeah. And then we got a ref bump.
Big one.
Yeah. Shout out Paul Turner. It was immediately after that second fall.
Yep.
He gets knocked out of the ring. Thekla hops out, takes his belt. And
that's fucking devious, you know.
Jeez. Honestly, I thought you were giggling at she took his belt, and I was going to bonk you, but okay.
look, it's Thekla. She could take whatever she wants.
And she will. So, Thekla takes the belt, tries to come into the ring, obviously whips Stat with it. Stat catches her hand, takes the belt from her, and whips the ever-living hell out of Thekla for a while.
Understandable.
Yep. Stat then hit another Saturday Night Fever, but Paul Turner's still out, so there's no ref to count the fall. Then the Sisters of Sin come in. Stat fights them off with the belt and a double clothesline, and then she tries to go after Thekla with the belt again, but Paul Turner has now come to, and he's in the ring, and he grabs Stat's arm and doesn't allow her to use the belt. And that distraction allowed Thekla to hit a spear, and then she hit 2 stomps, and then pinned Stat to retain her title. And it was not without some pain, because boy, did Thekla have some wells on her from that.
Oh, she really, she earned it.
She did. And what was a phenomenal match.
You know, these guys, like, I know it's 3:00. We're trying to get through this fast, and I'm not going to hold this much longer. But, like, there were some fun spots in this that were low key. Like, there was one point that Thekla went for a spear, and Stat just caught her and like kind of spun her out. Like, that was unique. That was different, and I really, really enjoyed it. The ref chastising Stat for the belt when, like, did you not see the woman take the belt off of you?
No, he was unconscious.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. He really wasn't. So it was funny. It was silly. I was a little frustrated at the first fall. Not that there was a cheating element involved. Like, I'm fine with it. But it always frustrates me in these multi-pin matches or these multi-fall matches when there's cheating. And it's like, Just look at the match can't restart for a minute anyway. Look at the goddamn camera. There's a little bit of suspension of disbelief there, but regardless, I thought this was a fun matchup. I enjoyed their first matchup. I think I like this one better.
You are a football fan, and I know this because we're in a fantasy league together. I watch a lot of basketball. I don't need more instant replay in my life, okay? And also, I've watched the World Cup's coming up. I don't need any VAR, all right? No.
All I'm saying is maybe Stat would be champion right now if the ref just looked at the fucking footage.
You're not wrong, but referee can't see or can't call what he can't see.
If only there was a camera and replay available. Oh, wait, there is. Anyway, let's move on.
But then literally no heel would ever win a match.
I'm a mark. I'm okay with that.
Touche. All right. God, I really want to talk more about this match, but like you said,
it was very, very good.
Late.
One of the longer matches of the night. I think it was like 17 or 18 minutes long.
Yeah.
Much longer than the other two women's matches that we got. But a fun matchup, and it's going to be sad to see Stat get knocked out of title contention because she definitely is now at this point. But as we've seen, the women's division is heating up. So Thekla is a very capable champion. Arguably, I would have had her win both falls straight up. It would have sucked for Stat, but it would have really solidified her as a dominant champion.
Yeah, it's not somebody who can survive that, but they always keep her, and I mean this respectfully, strong because she's Chris fucking Stat.
No, for sure.
So I understand why they did it the way they did. And hell, they not only they gave her a fall, they basically let her win that match. It's just, Paul Turner was unconscious on the outside. So I thought they did a very good job booking this, and I very much enjoyed it. Thekla is so fucking cool. I'm glad you warmed up to her.
No, I really have. She's somebody who has won me over with her promos and her ring work.
Yeah.
So good on her.
All right, let's keep rolling. Next up, we had JetSpeed and Místico facing off against the Don Callis family. It was Kyle Fletcher, Kazuchika Okada, and Mark Davis. Donkzilla, still a great nickname. Speedball and Knight came out with Místico masks on, which was really cool. And they came out to Místico's pay-per-view theme, which I don't know the name of, but I know is a very important thing because he only uses it when it's a big deal.
So I got to take one quick moment here. You mentioned the masks.
Mm-hmm.
When Matt and I were at the Superhero Showdown back in January, we were talking with them. And there was somebody in the crowd right ahead of us who kind of knew them a little bit, and she was wearing a luchador mask. At one point, Kevin takes the mask and puts it on. And I was there listening to this conversation after the match. She was like, if you ever want a luchador mask, I would be happy to make it for you. He took her number down. I am dying to know if it's the person who made this mask for them is the person that that was speaking to them in front of me that night.
I will definitely keep an eye out on the Instagram, or we'll have Matt keep an eye out on Instagram, and I'll keep an eye on Reddit, and we'll see what happens.
I would love to know.
If you're watching, let us know. They also actually wrestled with them for a while too, but eventually Davis ripped them both off. In a show of obvious disrespect. To jump to the end here, after Fletcher hit a kick on Knight as he was on the top rope, I think it was a hell of a kick. Místico came in, and then he locked in La Mística on Fletcher, about 5 feet from the corner where Knight is perched, right? So Speedball comes in, hits a time adventure on Davis, and he falls in the middle of the ring, right in front of Místico, who still has his hold on Fletcher. And then Knight comes to on the top rope, goes, oh, I can hit that. And hits a UFO over Místico, who has the submission in on Fletcher, hits Davis with it, and pins him to regain the AEW World Trios Championships. And then after that, Místico gets the All Elite graphic as he's, I guess, now dual contract. And we get his big, theme again, which is a phenomenal song. I really need to remember the name of it because it's very, very good. But James, not surprising, this was a fucking banger.
Incredible matchup. This is what trios title matches should be.
Yes.
Fun, nonsense, madness. Just pure chaos in a match. I thought this was so much fun. Místico, I think, now has the record for the quickest person signing and winning a title. Tommaso Ciampa was at 3 days. Místico has done it in 1 day. If we want to be like super technical, Místico has wrestled for AEW before, but this is now him all elite. So,
yeah, all right. For the graphic, yes. For debuting, I think it'll still be Ciampa. And that's what they'll probably roll with just for...
Yeah. And Mercedes technically won it in her first match too, but it was also like there was like a month of...
Yeah, it was a days thing. They've mentioned before when Ciampa won the TNT, they specifically said he is the second wrestler to win an AEW title in their first match behind Mercedes Moné. He just did it much closer to his debut than Mercedes did.
So I've shared this anecdote before. I was there in WWE on Místico's first night, Sin Cara. Yep. I was there.
The original.
The original Sin Cara. I am very invested in him, and I felt terrible for how things played out in WWE for him. He acknowledged there was a lot of things on both sides that led to it just not working. And I am so happy to see him thriving now. Not succeeding, thriving. He is such a huge name in Mexico, and he deserves to be. And I am happy he's doing well here, and I am happy he's getting a good reception here, and he feels more comfortable now. So excellent. I'm so happy for Místico. A little surprised that I'd say this was my first major surprise of the night in terms of outcomes. Because I think you and I have both been on the same page that we thought Knight was turning on Speedball.
Yeah, not only that, I thought it would work better for the Don Callis family story should they have titles and Takeshita not.
Exactly. So very surprising how this played out. I'm not complaining. I also, like I said earlier when talking about the main event, I think it's also an interesting wrinkle in Hangman doesn't have this team to fall back on. And he can't just go back to winning, Jet Set Rodeo. Fun matchup. I think my spot of the night was Davis hitting 2 pile drivers back to back.
Oh yeah, he almost dropped one of them too. He had a double clutch him, but
we're seeing 2 guys hitting pile drivers in matches that just look fucking deadly, and that's Davis and Kidd.
And it's serious when James drops an F-bomb.
Damn. It was so
Thanks,
good.
Ron.
And I'm happy he felt at home in this match. He did not feel like the odd man out.
It was really nice to see Aussie Open mixing it up together again. They had a minute there where they were putting some work.
It was really cool. Commentary with the funniest line of the night. They have to be the greatest tag team out of Australia. As opposed, can you list 5 more for me, please? Because if you say other than the Inspiration.
Oh, well, yeah. I was going to say Bushwhackers, but I'm not sure if they're Australia or they're Kiwis.
I have no clue.
And I'm not even sure if that's accurate. They could be bullshitting. It was the 80s.
Yeah, I have no idea. But I thought that was a funny line. And there was one bit that I saw that I just really loved. It was a 2-on-2 bit as JetSpeed and Okada are face to face. The crowd's the crowd's excited, but Místico is in their corner on the outside, and he just starts hitting the steps to get the crowd going. I'm like, motherfucker, why aren't you in there helping them? Make it 3-on-2.
What was really cool about that spot, though, was it was really funny, just Místico being on the side, but you had each face-off mirroring the other one.
Yes.
So on one side, you had the face hitting a super kick, and on the other side, you had the heel hitting the super kick. And then
drop kicks going galore at that point. Yeah.
And then I think the heels ended up pulling it out, and then Místico jumped in and hit them all with a crossbody.
It was so funny. And I loved Okada and Knight comparing their drop kicks.
Yeah.
Okada was like, mine's a little higher. And I thought that was really fun.
Yeah, no, this match was it was straight up fun. And I do think maybe this goes a different way if Místico is not signing. I'm going to be honest.
But I think the match only happened because he signed. Like, I think the match only existed because he signed. Otherwise, you could have put anybody else there.
Yeah, probably. And honestly, then you probably have the Don Callis family retaining. But still, this is really cool. I'm hyped Místico is going to be on the AEW roster, and hopefully Brian said it on commentary, I want them to win because I want to see Místico more. And hopefully they defend the titles a bit more than they have been defending, even if it's, you know, just on Dynamite or Collision or whatever it is.
Rascals, The Demand, Death Riders. There's a lot of teams here.
Yeah, plus probably, you know, any combination of the Don Callis family.
Yeah.
There's a lot, you know, there's a lot to go around.
We didn't talk about it. Trent Barreto wrestled tonight. He's back. Roppongi Vice.
Rocky too.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I do like Rocky's thing now is he does the slide and the shake and then he just gets his shit kicked in.
Immediately. It was beautiful.
Yeah. And I do want to echo your sentiment really quick on Místico as well. It is amazing what he's been able to do post Sin Cara, where he is coming back and he's not only had like a career resurgence, I think he's probably bigger now than he even was before he signed with WWE. So shout out to him. And maybe that was just a product of the times. I know he was very, very big back in his first run, but congratulations to him. He is absolutely killing it.
Yes. Yeah. I also just wanted on the record, before he signed with WWE, he was ranked number 3 in the PWI 500.
Yeah.
So there was something about being in WWE that just wasn't working for him.
And that happens. We've seen it a bunch.
Yeah, like it's something that you see sometimes. Like there are players that are great, but the moment they put on the Yankee pinstripes, they just can't get it together.
Javi Vasquez.
Yeah.
Carl Pavano too. But
yeah.
Javi Vasquez always made me laugh because the Yankees, he would kill the Yankees, you know, pitching. They signed him. He was terrible. They let him go. He killed them again. They signed him again, and he was terrible again.
Oh man,
that's it. Maria still thinks the trios titles need to be scrapped, and I understand. You know, they're probably one of the 2 most prop stakes titles that AEW has, and I mean strictly AEW titles. I'm not talking Ring of Honor, but at least the matches like this, and this was fun.
And I think ultimately, it's like we said before. Now that for the first time in a long time, these titles are not attached to anybody who is either a singles champion or the world champion. These are 3 people who just have the AEW trios titles. Yes, Místico has a 6-man belt, I guess, in CMLL, but very different thing altogether. We're not going to see these belts be wrapped up into a bigger feud. They're not going to be stuck in the world title as like supplements. So now we could see them actually be booked. If they still can't be booked well in the next 3 pay-per-view cycle, sure. But I'm excited for the belts right now.
Yeah, I am so excited to watch these guys wrestle. Just give me this every other week.
Yes.
I'll be so happy. I don't care who it's against.
JetSpeed feel like the perfect people to be holding these belts right now.
Yeah. And obviously you throw Místico, who is probably, again, one of the best wrestlers in the world at the moment, and you got a stew going, baby.
Thanks, Carl.
Yeah. So, side note, throw Top Flight and Scorpio Sky in that trios too.
I was happy to see him in the Battle Royal too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he got the SCU as well.
Yep.
It was nice to get that back.
Yep.
Not the worst town they've ever been in.
The one time.
Yeah. Also, you know it. This is a phenomenal conversation about what is the best not quite morning cereal, but we do not have time. We don't go on tangents here on the podcast. Also, that is a very Danny question.
We miss him.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of luchadors, good lucha things. Bandido versus Andrade El Ídolo, aka the one where James had to get bonked.
Not just me. A certain referee did too.
Yes. And I quote from Aubrey Edwards on Blue Sky. Somebody sent her a thing, said Aubrey probably had a great time watching both of these men take off their pants. And again, I quote, NGL best day of work in a long time, end quote.
Look, all I'm saying is it made me question some things. I don't know why I got so excited to see these men take their pants off. I don't know why. I like to think of myself as a strictly heterosexual man, but there was something about these men taking their pants off that I was like, nice.
I'm the same way, but I can appreciate it. I get
Yeah,
it.
exactly. I can appreciate it. And
that sort of thing in my bag, baby. But
I think it was hilarious that Bandido could not get the pants off. And Andrade pivoted beautifully.
I don't know if that was planned or if Bandido just could not get that off, but what an audible from Andrade. Just absolutely. As SRS put it in all caps on Blue Sky, he was like, I cannot believe Andrade just kneed him between the eyes because he couldn't get his pants off. He was, I don't know what SRS was on today, by the way. On Blue Sky.
He was on Twitter too.
Yeah, I guess he was posting the same things. He was on one, and it was hilarious.
My man was not happy about Ronda Rousey.
I know that was like Tony Khan on White Claws level of tweeting right there.
Yeah, fun stuff. But this match was great. Andrade, I'll be honest, I don't think he's long for the heel world. I think he's catching on.
Is a little too face for you.
No, like I'm being serious. Like the crowd is responding very well to him, both with the gimmick and his like silliness behind the character and his ring work. This is the Andrade we've all known has existed but haven't seen since NXT.
Oh, I was going to say since his C2 run before he went back to WWE.
I think this is a step above it. It was great. It was great, but that was mostly, wow, he's good in the ring. Everything is working here.
He's got a great character. I think you're right there. It's the character work that's the difference. We saw the in-ring stuff in that C2 run, but he had a good character in NXT with Selena, and now he's got a great character again, something we haven't seen from him in a while.
Long time, and he feels confident again. Like, I don't think he ever lost his confidence, but there was almost like I would replace it with almost an arrogance that he had. I don't feel that way right now. This feels like a guy who knows he's good, but also feels like he has something to prove. So I'm loving this. I am slowly boarding the Andrade train again.
I've been on it for a minute. I'm not going to lie.
I hopped off. I hopped off because of all the shenanigans about when he left AEW. I wasn't crazy about it. Punching Sammy Guevara, wasn't thrilled with it.
Yeah,
a lot of the stuff, it really soured me to him. But I said if he's going to keep his nose clean, I'm willing to give him a shot. And he has been really proving himself in the ring and out.
Yeah, the hell, we saw him at House of Glory a couple weeks ago. He was great in that match too. I know, Mason ended up getting himself counted out, which was horseshit, but whatever.
It was still fun.
Yeah, he was great. Just to jump to the end here, so Bandido hit a 21 plex on Andrade while Andrade was on the mat, which was very impressive. Great little, wrinkle to that move. And then Andrade kicked out, so Bandido hit an X knee and then tried to follow up with another 21 plex, but Andrade flipped out of it. He hit the feint kick into the back elbow, which, God, I love that move.
Yep.
And then Andrade brought Bandido up to the top rope and hit an avalanche DM to put him away. So honestly, I like this a lot. It felt a little long to me. It had some high spots.
I think you could have trimmed 2 minutes.
Yeah,
a minute and a half, 2 minutes. Yeah. I know I texted you about this, and I don't want to sound like a broken record. It was very frustrating that the ROH World title wasn't on the line.
Fair.
And I understand
especially with the Don Callis family, and they're trying to get as many belts as everything.
They had somebody go after Claudio's CMLL title. Why the hell aren't they going after the Ring of Honor title?
Right.
But I understand if you don't want to lock Andrade into the title, fine. Don't book the match then. Like, undeniably, it's making the Ring of Honor title feel lesser. I think that, like, we already know the prestige has taken a massive hit in these last couple of years. That's fine. But every other Ring of Honor champion that's been regularly on AEW TV was defending that belt. Mark Briscoe was defending that belt. Chris Jericho was defending that belt. Eddie Kingston was defending that belt. Claudio Castagnoli was defending that belt. I don't know why they don't have Bandido doing it. I've heard that we're supposedly going to be getting what feels like a pretty big reboot for ROH now that they're filming in Jacksonville. And maybe they just want to ensure that Bandido is the champion going into what is possibly this new era. But he could defend the belt and win matches. I'm not saying he should have beat Andrade tonight. Andrade is very clearly on the rise. But that title absolutely just feels like an afterthought. And it really does bother me.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. And I think you're probably right where they just don't want to lock Andrade into working Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
It probably doesn't want to work on Thursdays or whatever. But yeah, I don't really care. This was a good match.
Oh, no, it was. For me, who is invested in the ROH brand, it's frustrating. But I still enjoyed the match.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to sound flippant about that.
I get it. You enjoyed what you saw. Doesn't matter the details. For the most part, I agree. But it is an aspect that has been irking me for a while now with ROH and Bandido being that champion.
Yeah, which sucks too, because it'd be nice to watch him defend just because every title defense he's had has been a fucking banger.
Absolutely.
So it'd be really nice. I do want to make one more note on this match. Only person that Don Callis came out with was Andrade.
I noticed that too.
Obviously, he couldn't come out he could come out for Takeshita's match, but he's afraid of Moxley, so he never does. Yep. But he didn't come out for the trios match before this, and he came out with Andrade. Very interesting.
Yeah, the commentary pointed it out, too.
Yep.
So I wonder if there's a reason, but whatever.
Yeah, I did like Excalibur during the trios match. Like, notable by his absence, Don Callis, but I'm not going to complain. I don't need him on commentary right now.
Good bit.
Also, once again, got the fuck Don Callis fuck guys 2 chance. So good job, LA. All right, final match we got to go over: Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong, and Darby Allin versus the Dogs. David Finlay, Gabe Kidd, and Clark Connors Tornado Trios match. Orange has now updated his Tron. It says "Found Roddy."
Found Roddy. That was really fun.
Yep. Couple interesting things here. The Dogs tied Darby's chain to the tag rope, which was really cool because, and I forgot to mention this earlier, this is the second creative thing they did with the tag rope tonight, because I forgot to mention Brody choking out Swerve with it earlier. Yep. And I don't think I've ever seen the tag rope utilized in a match once, let alone twice.
I've seen it before, but it's never a fundamental spot. It's usually something a heel will do for like maybe some cheap heat in a tag match.
Oh yeah, I guess occasionally, yeah.
But like, no, this was definitely like it was played into the importance of the match in both instances. Yeah. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, usually I see the tag rope and I just think FTR and the beginning of AEW where they were very strict about using them.
Yep.
That eventually led to "Please help Darby" chants.
Can we hand it to the crowd tonight? They were on point pretty much the entire night.
Yeah, LA had a good one. You know it. I want to have serial conversations with you, but I can't. It's 3:30 in the morning.
He's doing this on purpose. He knows.
I know he is. Eventually, Orange did free Darby, and while he did so, he slipped him a zip tie.
Yep. Which seamlessly.
Yeah, to the point where I didn't notice it, but commentary did, and thank goodness, because eventually that led to Darby and Gabe Kidd fighting off next to the ramp, and Darby zip-tied Kidd to, I guess, a pipe or
probably just like probably like something in the
rebar underneath the ramp. So Kidd got stuck, and he was not happy.
He was furious.
Yep. And then back in the ring, Darby took out Finlay with a tope, and then Orange and Roddy started taking it to Connors. Roddy hit his big knee. Cassidy hit the Orange punch. And then Roddy hit End of Heartache before allowing Orange to get the pin.
Not allowing. He threw Orange onto him. I love that. I loved that.
So, yeah, it was cool. I guess we're not getting that Roddy heel turn we were all expecting.
I'm okay with it.
We're getting big high fives from them. Yeah. And then apparently now in the only thing I've seen from the post press conference was a kid telling New Japan to, and I quote, "fuck off," and he wants Darby in a coffin match on Dynamite.
Darby isn't
Hell yeah.
undefeated in them, but he's got a winning record at the very least.
Yeah, he lost to somebody. I'm forgetting who, but
I forget who it was as well.
Was it Swerve?
See, that's where my brain was going too, but I don't think so.
No,
because they did the tag match. Yeah, no, they did the tag match, and it was Sting and Darby versus Swerve and Christian Cage.
Right. Yes, that's what it was.
So, but I'm pretty.
I think Darby used the bat to keep the casket from closing.
But
that was All In, wasn't it?
I don't remember. Maybe.
I think it was.
This was a fun match. I'm bummed that I said this the other day. Connors is now clearly the fall guy of the group, which is a bummer. Like, that's why.
Respectfully, somebody has to be.
No, of course. But it would have been fine. Look at the Hurt Syndicate. Who's the fall guy? Shelton. But Shelton doesn't feel like a loser. Shelton wins things. The tag match that Connors and Kidd had against this team, they lost. Once Finlay took Connors' spot, they won. And this is exactly what I was saying these last 2 weeks, that I wished Connors and Kidd won that first tag match. Because now it feels like it's Finlay and Kidd, and then below them is Connors.
Yeah.
So you don't have 3 guys that feel like a threat. You have 2 guys that feel like a threat, and then they're third.
Are you surprised that the Dogs lost this match because they are trying, you're trying to establish them here?
I am, and I'm not. Like, ultimately, it sucks that we're unlabeling them as this out the gate. They feel like they're going to be a mid-card group. They don't feel like they're going to be a main event heel group.
Trios titles, maybe the tags, something like that.
Yeah. And maybe Finlay or Kidd wins a singles title. I think that's likely down the road. But they're not, this isn't the Bang Bang Gang. Like, they're the closest group that I could associate them to. Like, the Bang Bang, the Bang Bang Gang feels like an upper mid-card to main event group.
Especially when White's there.
Yes, exactly. When they're a full group, they feel like Jay could go for that world title at any time. They could win titles at any time. So I don't get that. I never got that vibe. And unfortunately, I joked earlier about Dave Finlay. The reality is he's had this going since New Japan. People, when he became leader of Bullet Club, it wasn't a Jay White situation or a Kenny Omega situation. This was like Dave Finlay is leader of Bullet Club.
Oh, it was laughed at.
Yeah,
quite a
so
bit.
Arguably a win would have done well to sort of get rid of that stigma. But I think Darby, Orange, and Roddy as this trio maybe needed it a little bit more. I'm a big believer that heels are way more susceptible to losing and recovering than baby faces.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
A heel just needs to cheat in their next match and win, and you're like, oh, those fuckers, I guess they could win whenever they feel like cheating.
Yeah, or just attack somebody and get their shit in. Yeah, something like that.
So I think this was the right play, and let's see. Maybe Kidd beats Darby in the coffin match. It's possible. So
you could use it.
Yeah, I'm intrigued because right now, the way this group is set up, I know Finlay's supposed to feel like the big deal of the group. Gabe Kidd feels like a bigger deal than Finlay.
I think he's kind of cooler and more animated, and I think that's what helps a lot. It's very, and I'm not comparing the two, but it feels a lot kind of like when you had the beginning of the Shield and Dean was like the very animated guy, so he stood out more.
Yeah.
And Seth was a lot more composed, and you could kind of tell like he's the one, kind of turning the turning the gears and stuff like that. And I'm not that kind of leaves Connors as Roman, and I don't think
Connors hits an epic spear.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Oh,
He had a great one.
Crazy one through the
Wow.
through the floor. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, it's kind of like that where like you're gonna notice Kid first, but if you look, Finley is the strategy guy. So I don't know if they necessarily have a leader, but those are the two guys you notice the most.
Yeah.
And it works. I'm very much hoping the best for this trio because I think they're really cool and I think they're good. And I think Kid has a very high future. So
yeah,
I don't even know how old is he 30?
I'll look it up. Keep going.
Oh, we're done. That was Revolution, kids.
Hell yeah, thank God.
It's only 3:36 in the morning here on the East Coast.
Watch me throw up right now. Dave Finley is 32. Gabe Kidd is 28. And Clark Connors is 32. So all of them.
We're older than all of them.
yeah. That was. I wish I didn't look it up.
I always say the first time I felt old was when Johnny Manziel won the Heisman, and I went, "Shit, I'm older than the Heisman trophy winner." Granted, he was a redshirt freshman, but
yeah,
whatever. Yeah. As I was saying, that was Revolution, and despite the fact it is 3:36 in the morning, that was worth every second I spent on it and every dime I spent on it. Once again, AEW delivered an absolutely phenomenal pay-per-view, James.
Yeah.
And they continue to hit on all cylinders.
You know it is just busting your chops at this
point. I know. He wants me to do serial talk.
We had been talking for a while. I've been the biggest complainer of it. Wow, we're going into March before we get our first pay-per-view from AEW. Like, we're waiting 3 months into the year until we get a pay-per-view from AEW. Absolutely worth the wait. Absolutely worth the wait. Honestly, absolutely pay-per-view of the year so far. Doesn't matter the company, doesn't matter the letters. AEW put on a banger of a show. When I tweeted about it on YouTube, when I tweeted the links onto Twitter from YouTube, I said, "Is AEW capable of putting on a bad pay-per-view?" Because it doesn't feel like it. So many people are back. So many toys are back in the toy box. Kenny, Cope and Christian, Ospreay, yeah. So many new champions tonight. Jack Perry, Bayne and Kross, trios titles. Like, the board is very different. Like, very, very different. And it's been a while since we talked about it just because of how long this is. Hangman cannot challenge for the world title.
For now, but yes.
As it stands, he cannot challenge for the world title. So, monumental night in terms of change for the landscape of AEW. Bravo, cannot wait for the next pay-per-view. It's one of my favorite nights of wrestling, like every month, so really, really excited. Bravo. I couldn't tell you what my favorite match of the night was.
It's
probably the main event, the main event, but so many good matches. And yeah, just thank you. Thank you, Tony Khan. Thank you, AEW. Thank you, AEW wrestlers.
Yeah, and Charles with a good point here. Stage production was great. I think the only little hiccup was like maybe that transition in the show just because you missed that little bit of the match. But other than that, everything looked really, really good. Everyone's entrance felt like a big deal. Like, this was a well put together show.
I agree, but I do have one minuscule issue. I was getting
James here. Here we go.
I was getting a little frustrated how often they were doing crowd shots of fans watching. Like, every match after a big spot, they had a close-up of a fan. And it felt very WWE. Now,
I was going to say, that's a very WWE thing to do.
Don't get me wrong. I don't inherently think that doing it is a bad thing to do. You want your audience at home to feel like they're part of the crowd and everybody's reacting. But I shouldn't miss something because you're panning to an audience member.
Which is a very WWE thing to do.
Yes. And I don't think it was super, super bad, but I noticed it enough tonight that I was like, I don't want this to be a regular thing.
I think AEW usually has done a good job of putting those reactions in replays.
Yeah.
As opposed to live. So I would agree with you. I didn't really notice it too much.
If you go back, if you decide to rewatch the pay-per-view at any point, I keep an eye for it because for me, I noticed it a bit.
It's one of those things you're saying, and I'm like, oh yeah, they kind of did.
Yeah.
You know, so I get where you're coming from, and maybe it was just something they were trying out. We'll see what happens. But I mean, if that is your biggest nitpick of the show,
exactly.
Woo. Yeah. Oh, Charles saying maybe they were enjoying themselves with the I'm calling it Staples Center camera options. It's obviously that's one of the bigger arenas in the country in terms of technology and stuff. And yeah, it is an NBA arena. Excuse me. Shout out the Lakers. So I'm trying to think. Oh, the Sparks play there too. There you go. So yeah, they're probably having some fun, but this was such a great show. And if you're really gonna make me pick something, it's gonna be from the top of the show where Wayne Brady immediately broke kayfabe and then said "bitch" on national television. Is Wayne Brady gonna have
the Rizzler taking his first spot was, oh boy, our kid's growing up.
Shout out Shane Taylor. Whenever he shows up on AEW television, it is so good.
Yep.
Shout out
Absolutely.
to him.
Yep.
All right. On that note, it's late here, kids. So I want to thank you all for watching us here at the Market Down Podcast. We'd appreciate it if you liked and subscribed, especially if you're up with us at this hour of the morning. We really appreciate you guys.
Tonight. Thank you.
Yeah. I think a couple of you might have fell asleep, but that's all right. Hopefully you came and double back and watched the rest of it. But I know it and Charles are awake, so we appreciate you guys, especially you, it with the and stuff. But like I said, please like and subscribe. We'll be back on Wednesday to review Dynamite. James has the Gym Pack Zone on Thursdays, so if you guys want to watch some TNA and hang out with James, then please do so. Matt hangs out on Monday sometimes for Raw if Raw is good. And we will be covering as many pay-per-views as we can as they come up. If you want to check us out on some social media stuff, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. If you're here on YouTube, you can check those out in the description below. Otherwise, if you're watching us over on Facebook or Twitter, Twitter is at @marketdown_pod. Instagram is at @marketdownpod. YouTube.com/marketdown3665 or / @marketdownpod. Blue Sky is marketdownpod.bsky.social. I had a lot of fun with you guys over there throughout the night. James, anything else before we can finally go to bed?
I have to go to the bathroom so bad.
Oh God, I appreciate you trekking through. Charles, thank you.
Yeah,
we appreciate it. You know it as well.
Thank
I know
you.
Thank you again for staying up with us tonight. So for a very tired and bathroom needy James Ashanti, my name is Nick Cummings. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Market Down Podcast. Have a good everyone, and enjoy the rest of your St. Patrick's week. See you on Wednesday.
Later.